Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Broken Earth. I am your host, Warren. These are my not so wonderful players. They are picking on me right now.
Fuck you,
You earned it.
hoser. You
Go
Yeah.
suck an
hoser.
egg.
In the words of Shania Twain, don't be stupid.
All right, so we're gonna start this off with the Dice of Destiny to see what happened last session, and that is Brandon.
This is
So,
not a good idea.
so yes,
This is really not a good idea.
Inti, what happened last session?
Okay, you're gonna have to give me a second to remember what I saw afterwards.
Take your
Okay, so we started the session off with us invading a cave uh, controlled by I don't remember their name, but Brandon is their leader.
the chosen
Ironically,
men.
the who?
The chosen men, or Brandon's
Chosen Men. That's what it was. Thank you. Uh, they had that. They also had captives. They had a lot of crates of various kinds of weapons in there, as well as some bikes and trucks in the back room, as I recall. And after we fought our way through and killed a torturer, I use the term "we" very loosely, admittedly. Um, we wound up finding a laptop, and Inti became very enraged as more and more information came through, especially seeing as how there was a red arrow in his father. And he had found out that part of the torture was his father having to eat Kylie's ear, uh, which forced him to break and give up vital information for the crows.
Yes, indeed. So with that, we are actually going to pick off right where we left off last session, where you guys are actually in that room. Um, I don't think that we need to show the viewers what all the room looks like, but I do have Owlbear open. I will
Awesome.
double check to make sure that it is working. Uh, boom, boom. There you go. But I don't think that we need to show that to the viewers. So, with that being said, we are going to start this off with Inti. Actually, Inti, you're getting a lot of spotlight right now. So you have just witnessed the the laptop commit for self forever sleep after your escapade on cutting yourself with the arrow that was
Indeed.
so nicely put into your father's mouth. What are you doing?
As one does.
Yes.
Um, I'm I'm still pissed. I'm borderline. Or I'm enraged
Mm-hmm.
at everything, and gonna look around, make sure there's nothing else that like I can hit or kill, and just kind of storm off for the moment.
So you're just gonna kind of walk out of this area.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the entrance of the cave. And how far away were our bikes?
Your bikes, you guys parked them quite a ways off. Um,
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna
Maybe a quarter
I'm
mile
gonna
away.
step outside and look around for like cigarettes, alcohol, anything.
um, well, if you were looking for some type of thing to smoke, go ahead and give me an investigation check in the main room. We will then go
Okay.
to Ket. Ket, what are you doing?
Ket is continuing to look over Kylie, making sure she's okay. We're talking. She's giving me the lowdown, I'm assuming, on what all happened to her, and I'm just sitting there grimly, listening, kind of rubbing her back gently, just being supportive, uh, and try to get her up on her feet and try to get her out of there because I'm sure she's had enough of being in this room. So, can she stand?
She can. She tells you that most of the torture that was done to her was that she was severely beaten. She tells you that the information that Horik was looking for, Horik could tell that she did not have any of that information, which is what spared her the treatment that the chief engineer and I named your old dad. What did I name him? Into
Your old dad.
Hawaka. Yeah. Inti Senior, we're going to say. Um, she was spared that treatment, although, she does have a gaping hole in the side of her head where her ear used to be. But other than that, yeah, she's fine. Picture of good health.
More like the picture of Van Gogh.
What the
Yes.
fuck?
So you were
My
just
investigation check was a 17, by the way.
you were able to find a pack of cigarettes on one of the bodies.
Okay.
Yes. So that is what Ket is doing. What about you, Marty? If you're speaking, we can't hear you.
I am not speaking yet. I am thinking. Because, as a disclaimer, I have been trying to figure out a good way to roleplay my character, and I think I've zeroed in on one.
Okay.
I'm going to kind of hold out the dead body. I've been dancing around the room like a demented muppet. I'm just gonna toss him to the ground. I remember seeing the other places in the cave, right? The upper area and the right side area.
No, the only person who did actually is Ket.
No, I saw there's an entrance there.
Oh,
I
yeah,
saw that there was a place to go.
There are other entrances. Yes, you would have seen that out of the corner of your eye during the firefight. But as far as what is in there, you are not aware. The only person aware is Ket.
All right, well, I'm gonna mosey on back that way.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell the others I'm gonna go back explore.
All right, Rodney.
I'm gonna go,
my bad. Go ahead.
this way.
Nope. You're gonna go off to that far left place. Yes. So
Yeah, I'm just gonna wander around.
We will say that you were just kind of bouncing out of the situation to secure the area. Rodney, what are you doing?
Currently trying to fix my son's braces.
I didn't know Rodney had a son.
Right?
He dies next session.
You need me to give you a minute there, Rodney?
I'm just trying to determine whether or not this is repairable or if it's fucked. And I'm gonna go on a limb and say it's probably fucked. Hold still.
All right.
Rodney would be administering fucking as well as his knowledge would handle of medical assistance to the good old engineer chief.
Yeah, so from last session, you already kind of did. This is about at the limits of your craft. So.
Okay.
But he is safe now. He begins waking up, and boy, is he glad to see you. So now we're going to move on to Mulgrim. Mulgrim, what are you doing?
I guess I'm just gonna start pulling perimeter watch because this seems more personal than anything else.
You did see Marty leave this area, mentioning that he was going to secure the rest of the area.
All right, so then yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and follow on with Marty.
Okay, so you are going to be at the same place with Marty. I'm thinking we do need to actually show our viewers what we're looking at here. Let us fix this real quick. Boom, boom. Yeah, alright. So we are going to move Morgan over to the left entrance. Where's my fog tool? There it is. That is what you guys see.
All right. I guess we can start
Wow.
looking at boxes.
I'm gonna go that way.
Yes, so this is where you guys see that. After hearing a firefight that they did not play a role in, these guys are definitely pointing weapons towards your area. But upon seeing two heavily armed people, you can tell that these are maybe 16, 17-year-old kids. They quickly lose heart, and they drop their weapons and throw their hands up.
I'm going to walk real close to this one right here,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna point over here. Both of you go sit in that corner until I come back and get you. Don't move. Don't think. Don't even breathe. Just go sit over there.
They sit down.
Who's going to mosey on past?
And I'm assuming you're following him the entire time, Morgan?
Yes.
Alright. So, I haven't put anything in this room, but this room seems to be a sleeping area. There are beds just kind of scattered around, a lot of sleeping bags and whatnot. This is probably where these guys would have rested during their shifts of whatever the fuck they were doing.
Any personal items, lock boxes, lockers,
Give me an
boxes,
investigation
things.
check.
I saw that coming a mile away. Bada boom.
Morgan, if he would like, can give you the help action.
And I will.
Bada boom. 15.
15.
Even with the help action.
Throughout all of this, you were able to find
I don't have my notepad anywhere.
97 gold, 51 silver, and 11 copper.
I feel like we're getting gypped, but okay. I'm gonna need you to repeat that here in a second. Hold on. Okay, hold on. 97 gold. I just lost my pen.
51 silver.
Okay.
And 11 copper.
Okay, and then you can circle back to me, but I do have some role playing I'd like to do with Morgan, if Morgan is up for it.
We will circle back to you after we get done with Inti. So Inti, where exactly are you in the maze?
All right. Well, I'm still waiting on Discord to come up so I can get to the owl bear.
We'll just put you right now. You've lit a cigarette in the main firefight area that you were at.
Not to interrupt,
I
but
was saying I'm going to step outside the cave.
Okay.
And went out there, look back at all the jeeps that we fucked up and all that.
Okay.
not to interrupt. Rodney is back, and I did miraculously figure out how to fix braces. So.
Oh, wonderful.
Woo!
Then we're going to put you at the entrance of the cave there, Inti. What are you doing?
Smoking a cigarette. Smoke a cigarette and trying to deep breath, calm down.
Alrighty.
Trying to regain control.
Those of you who have screaming kids in the background, can you mute yourself, please? Thank you. We are then going to go to Ket. Kylie is walking around. The hole in the side of her head is now dried up with, clotted blood. She seems pretty out of it, but she is able to walk.
Yeah. Well, I really don't think that I need to try to involve her in anything until she's healed up and been looked after. I guess I'll try to clean up the wound on her ear. That's the only like actual like bleeding wound she has, isn't it?
Yeah, the rest of it is just bruising.
Yeah.
She
So,
looks like she got into like a relatively bad fist fight.
Yeah,
Other than her
with
cut.
Evander Holyfield, apparently.
Or like Mike Tyson. Anyway.
But, oh yeah, that's right. It was Mike Tyson that bit Evander Holyfield. You're wrong. It was right. Shut up. So, yeah. Can you, I guess, roll me a medicine check or whatever to try to?
I don't see a need in that. You're just kind of cleaning around the wound. I'm pretty sure you know better than to actually touch the wound itself.
Stick my finger in it. Can you hear now?
Just kind of stick your finger in it, wiggle it around a little bit. We're gonna
Hey,
get
I
this back.
missed you.
I think you both need medicine checks. That is not how you do medicine.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna make you roll a medicine check for cleaning around the wound. I'm pretty sure that's self-explanatory.
Okay.
So yeah, are you gonna try to get her out of this area?
Well, I mean, we should be outside, because I said that I was gonna get her out of that area.
Okay.
So
Just
yeah,
leaving
we
the
should
chief
be.
engineer and dear old dad behind. Okay.
I mean, it's not my dad.
But no, Rodney,
got
if
He got a
the
point,
chief
though.
is awake after said administering medicine, Rodney's gonna go through each and every crate with said chief so we can decide what's we can take back and whatnot.
He can barely walk. The toenails on
Oh,
his feet were removed.
oh, piggyback ride time. Let's go, chief. I won't
Yes,
speak a word of this.
carrying the engineer chief, like a baby because he is a gnome. He's
Yes,
just kind of resigned himself to this because he is still in extreme amounts of pain. But yes,
he is being carried in the cradle position
yes,
like a child.
fucking A. Let's get his size down correctly. There we go. So, Ket, I'm assuming you took Kylie out to the entrance of the cave over by where Inti is at?
Yeah. And I'm gonna ask Auntie if I can have a cigarette.
Inti, you were asked for a cigarette. Do you oblige?
Yeah, I'm just tossing the pack and just shake my head.
And,
Maybe talking to myself in Iroquois, but just sounded fucking pissed.
a thought does cross your mind that you think your father is alone right now.
Are you
I
sure?
didn't
it
want to
does?
metagame, but after I walked off, I'm like, didn't we like leave Dad behind? Wait a minute.
Okay, well then, with that realization, I'll just yell out "fuck"
Run
and
back.
I'm not running back. I'm just pissed off, stomping, walking back. I just go up there, just go and untie him. And is he awake? Can he walk?
He is not awake. He seems to be knocked unconscious.
And I scoop him up, and I'm gonna go ahead and walk him outside. And just gonna leave the cigarette in my lip, just pissed off and smoking and muttering and carrying him on outside. Just pissed off about the whole fucking situation. Still looking like if anybody moves inside that's like not the rest of the party, just wants to walk over and fucking stomp them. Might just stomp a few on the way just because he's just pissed.
Just stomp all their fucking faces in. Got it.
Yes.
So I'm assuming once you get Dad outside, you're gonna look him over.
Yes, I'll look him over and I'll see if there's anything that needs to be addressed. But I mean, once I get him all right, I'm gonna try and just kind of step away for a minute. Like keep him in view, but just step away a little bit.
Well, his hands are completely broken, like shattered.
Ooh, that's a hell of a medicine check, isn't it?
His arms are broken. His left eye has been removed. His right ear has been cut off, and he also has a hole through his cheeks.
Okay, well, actually, give me one
If
moment.
you have any,
Or actually, do I have any spell slots?
if you had any before the boss fight, I did not use any of your spell slots.
Okay, I had, I believe, one left. So then I will
Burn that on
check
that.
this real quick. All right, can I use cast cure wounds on him, and would that help at all with any of that?
Cure wounds. You cast it upon him.
It's 1d8 plus my spell casting ability modifier.
His arms are looking better, but they are still broken. His hands are still shattered. The hole through his cheeks is starting to seal itself up. The eye, of course, and the ear are missing, so this magic does not affect it.
All right, and then and after that,
He
I'd
is
like
awake,
to.
though, and he looks at you, searching for you with his good eye. Inty?
Dad, just stop. Stay still. This is gonna fucking hurt. And I want to try and make sure that you're like reset anything that I can
So you're
with
going
like
to
his
try to
hands.
reset his arm?
Try and give him some. Or try and make sure that he can use it. Try and use his hands later, but then also kind of try and get him wrapped up and set in place until we can get to an actual doctor.
Well, the hands are beyond your knowledge and
Oh yeah.
beyond your magic. The arms, however, you can try to reset his arms with a medicine check. You
Okay.
might ask Ket if he can help, and if Ket were so inclined, he might.
Okay. Well, I already rolled mine, and I got a 19 on my first roll.
So add your medicine modifier.
That's with my medicine modifier. I rolled an
Okay.
18 and it's +1.
So his right arm, you are able to set it back, and splint it. It's going to take some time to heal, or you reckon that you're probably going to have to cast another form of cure wounds in order for this to fully heal. But yeah, his arm for right now seems to be out of the woods. You can try his left arm.
Sure. Another medicine check, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's 10.
Do you want to try to get some help from Ket?
I would very much like to try and get some help from Cat.
I would be more than happy. I would imagine it wouldn't take long to kind of clean up her ear, and I would happen to look over and see Inti over there, kind of struggling,
But
like
keep in mind,
dropping
I'm
the
probably like
bandages.
just still, or like Inti's probably just shaking right now. He's just so fucking angry at everything that's happening.
Yeah,
Yeah, so go
and
ahead
so
and
I
roll
would,
your advantage check there, Inti.
yeah.
I've rolled a 14 plus 1 is 15.
At first, you were kind of not really going so well, but after Ket comes over and lends a hand to you, it wasn't as good of a set as the first one, but it is good enough to knit with possibly another cure wound.
All right. Well, I'm out of spell slots, so I can't do that. But
yeah, so you guys end up splinting it up, and your dad is now lying flat on his back, resting.
okay, and I can't like wrap his fingers to like just keep them still from moving, or did I already do that without needing a medicine check?
His hands look like someone just took a sledgehammer to them and hit them over and over.
Oh, so it looks like the bones are dust, not just broken.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I said, that doing any form of healing on those hands is going to be beyond your skills as far as medicine or any healing. He needs to see a
Okay.
surgeon.
All right. Well, then, want to thank Ket and stand back up. I'm assuming I'm finished my first cigarette, so I'm gonna go ahead and light another one. and
Okay.
and
Your
then if
dad
Dad
does.
has,
He does try to talk to you, and at first he asks you, "How the hell did you find us?"
we followed the fuckers. Can't get away from us that easy.
He smiles. That's my boys. He tries to give you a pat on the shoulder, but of course winces at the pain.
Uh, like, just sit down, sit back. The we we still need to finish looking around, seeing what all they had, if we can find any other plans or equipment. But we'll get you back to the caravan, and we'll get you looked at. We'll get you took care of.
He
Do you remember? Did he tell you anything throughout that? Anything important to us? I'd ask, kind of like pointing out the arrow wound.
he says in Iroquois.
Yeah, I figured I was sorry. I
Yeah.
meant to say I was responding in Iroquois.
Oh, you're having this entire conversation in Iroquois.
Yeah, yeah.
He
Like it's like tragic, like stressful situation reverting back to
mother tongue
birth
kind of
tongue.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, or yeah, mother tongue. Thank you.
Your father does say that apparently Horik told him that he was going to be killed and that he was going to be just kind of dropped off with that arrow in his mouth. And he looks at you with a knowing eye, knowing that you know what it means.
All right. I'd look at him and say, this isn't just war.
Personal.
This is this is a pact. Only one of us will. Only one of us can live after this. You understand, right?
He says
Should I tell
only.
Marty?
To the first statement, he says only two words: "damn" and "straight." And as far as telling Marty, he replies, "Well, he is your brother."
I'll nod and just kind of stand back up, look around, and just shake my head. Just, "Ah!" Just let like just pissed off yell, and then turn back or head into the cave and go look for Marty.
Kat, you are
Or,
witnessing all
and
of
I'll
this.
tell Dad, just stay here. You kind of
You
chuckle when I say that.
you you were witnessing all of this, although both of them are speaking in a tongue that you do not understand.
I'd imagine that I would, Cat being Cat, he would give them privacy. Um, I trust in my team that they'll let us know if it's anything important. Otherwise, it's just in my eyes, it's just a man having a private conversation with his dad.
Okay. At that point, we are going to come to Morgrim and Marty. If you guys want to roleplay, so go ahead and roleplay.
Man, I don't know how to start this conversation. I've been like dancing around this stupid conversation for the longest time.
What are you talking about, Marty?
No, that was not me role playing.
Oh.
Hey, that actually
So
would
hey,
be
I
a
don't
good
just
way to
like
start
you, I
that
like
off.
you.
That actually would be a good way to start it off.
Oh, Warren knows where I'm going with this. Thank you, Warren. Shit.
You want to start it off that way?
No, I'm riding the struggle bus right now. Sorry about that. Yeah, we can start it up. We can start it off that way. But
To which
imagine
Morgrim
I
asks
said that in
you,
a
"What are
really
you trying
angry
to say?"
tone.
Okay. So Morgrim,
Why more? So wait, I'm sorry. Let's rewind here. How is this starting off?
what
Okay.
he said at first, what you are actually thinking this conversation, That's how I was actually starting off.
Okay.
But said in an angry tone.
Yes.
So, fuck, I don't know. I'm struggling here.
Morgan
Just ask me
seems
what
to
I'm talking
have
about.
Morgan seems to have a rather confused look on his face.
That helps. Thank you.
That's what I'm here
This
for.
less than egg.
That's
I'm sorry.
The struggle is real, boys. The struggle is real.
I started busting a gut when we left Indy Senior in the other room because I like left and I was like, I'm gonna go do something else. And then I'm like, wait, we left him in there. I totally forgot about that.
You know, like I was fully expecting Marty to handle that while he went off full rage mode, just rage quitting.
No, I was like, I'm gonna go over here.
So, yeah, continue your conversation with that.
I've never done this kind of conversation before. Hold on.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, I got it. I'm gonna pick up as we're sorting through the stuff that we're looking through to find all the goodies and things. I'm gonna look at Morgan and say, how can any of you people believe in a higher power that lets that kind of thing happen? And just start I assume I have like a shoe or something in my hand. I'm just gonna launch it across the room.
Is this really the conversation you want to have?
You talking in game or like in?
No, in game.
Yeah. This is part of my character development.
So I'm assuming you were replying to Morgan, yes, there, Marty.
Oh, I thought he was asking me if we were really going to go down this road. I didn't realize he was rolling.
No, he was legitimately asking that.
Yep. Okay, hold on. I need to change my name to Struggle Bus.
You don't believe in God. You don't believe in God. Nobody believes in God.
What is God?
A lot of fucking Frederick Nietzsche's in this fucking.
I hate all. I hate.
Hey. Niche would
You
say
are not
nothing
helping.
exists
Not
for any reason.
helping me right now.
He's for everyone.
If
This
the
whole
Struggle
thing is
Bus is
starting
real, I'm
into a
definitely
shit
driving
show.
right now.
The entirety of Broken Earth is a shit show. The fuck are you talking about?
Seriously,
It's not supposed to be a
I'm here.
dumpster fire when I started this thing.
You're a dumpster fire.
Yeah, you're right.
But Austin, me and
Sorry,
you
my
are
life.
contributing. This was never going anywhere.
Yeah, that's kind of clear.
So is it Morgan is asking you if this is a conversation you would like to have, Marty, I should say.
I believe in science.
You guys are not helping.
Sorry.
Shut up, please.
I'm
sorry.
I'm going to mute now.
He's like, I'll see myself out.
Fucking shit posters, a lot of you.
For those of you at home, I've been religious my whole life, so I've never had this kind of conversation with somebody.
Wait, okay, hold on. In real life, would you like help with said conversation?
Look,
Yes.
just straight up ask Warren. Me and him have literally had this conversation probably 15 times.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, you just gotta question it. It's not hard.
I know. I've never put it like. Okay.
All Morgan.
I'm gonna look at Morgan.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna look at Morgan, and I'm gonna say, all that blood spilled in the other room, all that death, all that gore was for nothing. Nothing beyond the pleasures of a sick man who we blew the back of his head off. How can you worship somebody who stands by and lets it happen?
Because for him to intervene would mean we don't have the right to choose. That's kind of a big thing.
Some people don't deserve the right to choose.
Likes this.
Some people do not deserve the right to choose.
And who gets to decide?
Can you mute yourself, please, Josh?
He did it right when Austin was finishing his sentence. No, I didn't hear him.
Go. Say that again, Austin.
So, and who gets to choose? You?
The world knows I'm broken enough. I can't.
Well, you don't have to be broken.
Make those decisions.
So then why make the statement some people don't deserve to choose? You get to choose. We're not all saints.
Again, Zach still likes this.
I'm not asking for everybody to be saints. What I'm asking is that the world be a lot less fucked up than it is.
Well, if it was a lot less more fucked up than it already is, would we ever get the chance to do better? I mean, think about it. If everybody was perfect, how could we ever hope to achieve anything greater than what we already are?
This conversation is eerily similar.
Yeah, you like that?
Are y'all sure this is in character and not in real life that y'all talking now?
We've had this conversation in real life.
Not with me. And I
This
probably
is
should have gotten
playing
with you, Austin. I probably should have gotten with you, Austin, so we could like have role played this a lot better. But
you probably
No,
shouldn't have
off
gone
the
after
cuff.
somebody who hasn't been in college.
Off the cuff.
off to go. Gab, I have. Marty's gonna like just side eye Morgrim, walk out, and Morgrim's gonna hear him start yelling at the two guys in the corner, telling them to get up and start moving towards the entrance of the cave.
They immediately. I'm assuming you are kind of behind them, forcing them out.
Yes.
Yes.
The one in the back's not moving fast enough. I'm gonna kick him in the butt.
It just seems slightly aggressive.
Worm.
Marty just gives you a sideways glance and begins moving the prisoners out of that area. What are you doing?
Before following, I'm just going to kind of look into the sky and be like, I don't really think he liked that answer, but I think it was a good answer. I'm not fishing for anything, but
Yes, if angels could give incorporeal pats on the head, you have received one.
They can. It's called a blessing.
So yes, you get one head pat, Morgrim.
One pee touch.
which is a one people touch.
You get a real solid attaboy.
You get the POV
You get a good
award.
job from Dad.
Good job. Good job.
Good job.
You got the thumbs up from Poppy.
All right, Sergeant High, calm down.
Okay, whoever said thumbs up from Poppy, never say that again.
It's a Kronk reference. Are you people savages?
No, we just had somebody who was named Poppy in one of our other ones.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. So.
Yeah, that's actually very true.
No, I've just had a sad and terrible life.
So are you going to be following Marty after you've given him a bit of space there, Morgan?
Yep.
Okay, so you are now at the entrance of the cave. Rodney, you and the chief engineer are looking through the boxes. All these boxes have half filled with ammo, preloaded and ready to go, and half full of the same kind of guns that were wrecking your shit.
How long would it take me to... Hold on, because I gotta... How much space does a bag of holding have?
Yes.
Not enough for an entire crate.
A bag can hold up to 500 pounds. I would like to load 300 pounds worth of weapons into the bag.
as you were beginning to do that, the engineer says, "Don't you guys have a radio?"
Wait, yeah, wait. Yes, yes, I think so. Marty, did we bring a radio?
You guys did.
All of the motorcycles have one equipped.
Oh, okay.
Don't
Just call
kill
the tribe.
them.
Just call the
Just
tribe.
walk over to the motorcycles.
Oh my God. Yeah, just call the tribe. Have them come here. We can just load them up on the truck.
Oh, that's true. See, that's why you're the chief engineer. You're smart.
The fuck?
He tries the whole, head tap to the temple thing, but again, ceases whenever he touches his fingers to his head.
Don't try too hard, boss.
All right, well, I guess you guys should probably start bringing in those motorcycles. You can just set me over there by all the rest of the wounded.
Okay. Go politely set him in the is Inti's dad sitting upright?
He's kind of leaned against the cliff face.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
I'm
outside
a
the cave.
Yeah.
I set the engineer like basically in his lap. Hey, old guy, just don't let him go anywhere.
Hey, that's Mr. Old Guy to you.
Mr. Old guy.
NT Senior just looks at his broken arms and broken hands and looks back up at you. I'll try to trip him, I guess.
Thanks.
Yeah, sure. I'll get right on that.
And then I'll go join everybody else in moving the bikes and getting shit prepped for the tribe.
Yeah, so I'm assuming everyone is going to go get their bikes, bring them back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, who's making the call to hire?
I'm already on it because I'm already like halfway to the bikes.
All right, Marty. What are you saying?
Breaker
Uh,
19, breaker 19.
Shut up, breaker. This is Baker.
The chief and the tribe's name is pretty much Mothership One.
Mothership 1. This is Brave Marty. That sounded super tactical and cool in my head. It was not when I said it out loud.
Sound like you were just bragging.
Good on paper, poor execution.
Oh,
Hey,
the story of my life.
Just real quick. Did y'all know that they make a cinnamon toast crunch ice cream?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did
I
not.
don't know
I'm
why
still
you'd
fat,
want
kid.
it.
I'm not
but
even
yeah.
recovering at this point. You can't be
They
saying
also
that.
apparently make Fruit Loops popsicles.
Yes.
What?
That is all.
That one I'm not as interested in.
All right. So, come up with a different call sign. Don't sound like a fucking nerd.
Breaker. This is Baker. Yeah, that was an army joke.
This is Smokey calling Bandit. Breaker 19. We got the pedal to the metal. Got the mounties on our tail. You could run some interference. We'd appreciate it. This is
Brandon, you
Snowball
need to stop.
coming out.
Brandon, you need to stop.
Shut up.
You need to stop.
I'm
Y'all
sorry, I
cannot
couldn't
do
help
this to me.
myself.
You're about to get us copyright strikes, my guy.
Y'all cannot do this to me. I am not sane enough
Fucking
for
A.
this conversation.
Fucking A. I give up. Flip the table.
That time.
Anyway. So yes,
Mothership, this is Headhunter calling in.
Headhunter. We haven't heard from you in a while. How's it going?
Hostages rescued, 2 prisoners, and a lot of supplies. Recommended course, circle up here, and we'll take care of the wounded.
And you're just gonna kind of give a rudimentary location over the radio.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's. I'm about to put you in touch with Head Honcho. And you kind of hear the radio kind of change hands.
Can y'all tell I've had 0 training on radio? It's great.
Beautifully done.
Marty, this is the Chief Chris.
Hey, boss. I'm not saying that.
Who all's been rescued?
Inti Senior. Why do I have carnival music in the background? I'm sorry. Inti Senior. What's the engineer's name?
Just call him the engineer chief for now.
Chief engineer.
A small little man who fixes things.
Yo, put some
Yeah,
respect on that small little man.
Second
Mr.
name.
Small Little Man.
No.
Big in heart.
And the best thing to happen to Ket since his mom left him on the front porch.
Oof.
What?
God dang.
Marty's out for blood.
Oh, that was uncalled for.
That's fired over the port bow, Captain.
Hey man, you got to encrypt it somehow. It's just the first thing that came to mind.
Any other?
God.
Were you able to save anyone else?
How many dead bodies did you find in that? I knew there was a bunch of dead bodies in here. I just don't know if they were whole hours.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12 friendlies 12 friendlies KIA. How many guys did we kill? How many guys did we kill? Enemies.
A lot.
Yes. Total enemy annihilation, with the exception of 2 prisoners.
All right, we're gonna rendezvous with you. You said something about supplies.
There. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. 17 confirmed boxes of supplies captured.
All right, we'll head that way, and we'll probably be there in a couple hours.
Roger, head honcho. Headhunter out.
And the radio kind of cuts off. So all of you ride your motorcycles back up to roughly the cave entrance. There is still some of the cave that has not been secured.
Martin's just gonna wander himself in there, still like when he comes up to Mortimer, he's just gonna like sidestep around him and just keep moseying on.
So
Is
in
that
here,
how we're doing this now? We're just not gonna talk to people. Yeah.
whenever you
Okay, you got to give Marty a second. He's stubborn.
That's it. Inti's looking for Marty, so.
He just doesn't like that I told him what he didn't want to know.
I mean, you're not wrong, but that's all people who are stubborn.
I know in not last session, but the session before, I said that these were 3 men. I am now retconning that and saying that these are 3 children, roughly around the ages of 10. No weapons in their hands, just covered head to toe in grease.
Wait, those are all children up there? Damn.
Inti, you find your brother right here, looking at 3 kids covered head to toe, working on motorcycles. Covered head to toe in grease, working on motorcycles. The second you pop up around the corner, they drop their tools and they shoot their hands up.
All right. Well, as I'm walking up towards Marty, I want to holler out, Marty, come here. Me and you need to have a talk. It's time you learn something, and it feels like something that's coming up.
And now you see the kids.
Yeah, and I walk in, see the kids, and just kind of, whoa. Who are you? Come here and tell us your names. We're not going to hurt you. We won't hurt you if you do what you're told. Come here.
They slowly, keeping their hands up, like walk up to you. Their hands just shot like locked armed up to the sky.
All right. As I want Inti to kind of step up towards them, and then like once he's fairly close to them, just kind of sit
As
down
you
and
step closer to them,
hold
they
his hand up. That's just like hold my hands out, like, hey, hold on. Now sit down in front of them, hold my hands up, trying like, hey, look, I'm not hurting you right now, and I want to ask each one of them their names and where they're from.
They tell you that the names are Greg, Kai, and Joe.
All right. Once I introduce themselves, I want to hold out a hand to each of them in order and just introduce myself as Inti.
Whenever you offer your hand, they flinch.
Very slowly, just like, hey, I'll just shake it. Just trying to introduce myself. I don't want to hurt you. I want to know why you're here.
Give me an insight check.
Oh, for fuck's sake! What are my dice? There it is. Wrong mouse, wrong computer. It's, that is going to be a 16.
These kids have been abused.
I don't want to seem threatening. Like, I want you to like visibly like close my eyes, just like take a few deep breaths, and just be like, hey, look, I don't want to hurt you. No one's gonna hurt you. Just talk to us. We might be able to help you. But if you don't talk to us, we cannot help you.
Marty, what are you doing in this situation?
I'm just kind of staring at the kids. If you were to look at me, you'd almost think I had a far away look in my eyes.
Yeah, so the kids, they don't take your hand, Inti, but they do answer that they are grease monkeys for the chosen men. They were captured, and this is their lot in life is to work on motorcycles and cars and shit.
If you had a choice for your lot in life, would you choose this?
They look at each other. What's choice?
Choice is, do you want to still work for them? Or do you want to eat what you want, do what you want, and be what you want? You have to work for it. But you can change, you can make it to where you get what you want. Do you want that or not?
They just kind of look at each other. And then they look back at you. Will we be beaten?
Not likely. Not unless you do something that you know you shouldn't be doing. So long as you act right, try and be good people, you won't be beaten at all.
They look at each other again. And they slowly let their arms down. Sure?
All right. Then I want to. Indy's gonna slowly stand up, turn around to Marty, and look through everything, catalog everything. Meet me outside. We still need to talk. Something important has come up, and now I want to tell all the kids to, hey, grab my hand, or for the third one, grab one of the other's hands and just slowly try and walk them out, not like push them or force them or anything. Just be like, come on, stay with me. We'll get you out of here.
Yeah, they're
Like Inti immediately went from pissed off to very soft and tried to be very kind when kids came into view.
Yeah, so the kids are rather skittish at first, but they do follow you to the outside of the cave. And yeah, I mean, they're doing what they're told, but they're more scared than anything. And I'm assuming you're separating them from the prisoners.
Yes, that's I'm bringing them over towards Dad.
Okay. We'll put the prisoners further out here.
I can continue dialogue, or you can go to someone else for now if you would like. Just let me know which.
I'm actually going to go to Marty. Marty,
Okay.
your brother told you to catalog the area. You find 2, 4, 6, 7 motorcycles and 3 tinker stools in the form of mechanic stools.
I'm gonna gather up the tinker's tools.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
The
gonna.
motorcycles, from what you see, are in rather good condition, other than a few bullet holes and whatnot that one can't really fix. The kids have actually been taking pretty damn good care of these motorcycles.
Anything special about them, such as upgrades compared to ours?
Compared to your personal motorcycles, no.
Okay.
It's just you can tell that those kids know their way around an engine.
I'm gonna gather up the tinker's tools. You said there were 3 kids but 7 tinker's tools, or no, 7 motorcycles.
Yes.
I'm stupid.
Doy.
3 tinker's tools. I'm gonna gather up the tinker's tools, walk outside to the chief engineer. I am super zoomed in. Are the tinker's tools in any kind of bags or anything like that?
They're like small toolboxes.
Do I have something that I can like engrave or like scratch in my tinker's tools? Like my tinker's tools, not mechanic's tools.
Oh,
Oh, I
yeah,
also have
yeah.
smith's tools. So I have something like I can, and I'm just gonna like set the toolboxes down, be like, which one's yours, which one's yours, which one's yours, to the 3 kids. When they pick them out, I'm gonna like kind of like scratch their names into the top,
Mm-hmm.
and then look at the engineer. Why did I make his thing so small? I know it was a joke. Dang.
No, I did that.
That's what she said.
I did that.
It is because he is tiny, man.
No, I thought I did that. I thought I did that the last session because I was like, I was being smart because he's small. I'm gonna look at the engineer and then point at the 3 kids and say, "I got you some new apprentices."
Yes. So we're gonna go to. He appreciates it and he begins talking to the kids and tries to get the kids to, not be so skittish around him and whatnot. We're gonna come back to Ket. Ket, you just saw 3 kids join the fray here.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Inti where. Well, wait, I would have known about them, right?
Yeah, that's why I retconned it.
Yeah,
Because I did
okay,
say it was
all
3
right,
men, but we're retconning it to 3 kids because I think this is better.
okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna see the kids and I'm gonna recognize them as the kids who were working on the motorcycles, and I'm going to, huh. I forgot that the caravan was coming to meet us. And we weren't going to have to go there because everybody was going to need motorcycles other than the 5 of us or
Mm-hmm.
4 of us. But yeah, I guess I'll walk over and ask about, ask Inti how the kids are and everything, if they're okay. We're taking them with us, right?
Inti?
Yes. Yes. they're coming with us, and if anyone has any problem with them at all, direct them at me. I'll say in like a
Yeah,
very
no,
deep,
I'm
challenging voice, like, "Look, I'm watching over these kids. Don't fucking touch them
Kylie
unless you're
has
being nice."
Kylie has taken immediate um, warmth to them. She's over there just kind of pinching cheeks and doting over them.
uh-huh. I'm just gonna kind of sit back and watch her doing that. And I'm gonna look at NT and I'll just say, yeah, good. I think some kids might do some good around here. Are there
I
small
mean, even
children
when
like
we
that
get back
on
to
the
the
caravan?
settlement,
What was that? What was that?
who?
I said, are there small kids like that already that travel with us?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'll say good that I think having some, you can't never have too many small hands when working on machinery and they already know what they're doing. And I'll look at the kids and say, don't worry, you guys, we'll take care of you and you'll have plenty of friends to play with while you're here.
They do kind of warm up a little bit, especially to Kylie. This is you can kind of tell that this is the first time in a long time that they have seen a female, let alone have a female dote over them.
Yeah.
So they're definitely warming up to Kylie fairly well. Rodney, you
Yes.
you were now looking at three children that kind of possibly might remind you of yourself at one point.
Oh yeah, they're all covered in grease and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so you say Kylie's over there doting over them,
Yes.
and
Saying,
they're all
"Oh my
covered in
God, you're all
grease.
so cute," and yes.
I want to move up to one of them because I mean I'm still young. Move up to one of them and ask them to see your hands. Be like, hey man, let me see your hands real quick.
They hesitantly show you their hands.
Are they all nice and rugged and worn in?
Oh yeah, and grease is up underneath the fingernails. Uh, yeah, you can actually
You
see some
guys,
scars on their knuckles from working on engines and whatnot.
and they worked you guys to bone, but bet you guys got some good knowledge, huh?
They just kind of shrug, I guess.
Hmm. Is there any bikes left over that? Or there's those big ass vehicles in front of us. We didn't destroy all those, did we?
Yeah.
NT sabotage them.
Damn.
I did.
Oh wait, we did sabotage them. Cool.
I cut your tire on them at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made sure cut shit, dude.
I'm
I
gonna
know in space. Like,
I'm gonna take the kids and then a toolbox and then I'm gonna see how good these kids are.
Yeah, so you're gonna kind of give them a little test.
Yeah, I want to give them a test to see how well they are at repairing the damage, and then I want to see how well they are at damaging a vehicle efficiently.
Well, after kind of looking over the things that NT did, they tell you exactly what NT did to it. And with the hoses, they say that they're going to need a new hose. The duct tape that they have isn't going to work. Tires are, you're going to need new tires and shit. They're more or less like diagnosing what's going on because we're actually repairing it. They don't have the parts to repair, but
Right.
yeah. And
But these dudes know.
as far as sabotaging, one of the kids, Joe looks over to Greg, smiles, pulls a screwdriver out, and just shoves it into the radiator.
Like your style, kid.
NT laughs and is like a kid after my own heart.
Yo, Chief, we got good hands here, and they're small. They'll fit those real tiny places that most of the big guys can't get to.
Yeah, the chief is he's kind of chuckling, at Joe for his little bit on sabotage. Morgrim, what are you doing?
That's a highly good question.
You see the rest of the party is beginning to warm up to these kids, and the kids they're starting to warm up. You can tell that they're still a little skittish, but they're beginning to warm up to the party. They're they're getting there.
I mean, I see that everybody else is kind of warming up to them. I'm not gonna be too leery of them. Not overly leery, I should probably say rather. But I am going to be just a little bit concerned. Just by nature, only because they come from the enemy's camp.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they could be spies, but I'm gonna go over and talk to them and see if I can discern any ill intentions towards our group.
Give me an insight check.
Hey guys, I'll be back in just a minute. All right.
All right.
Insight's going to be 16.
They honestly are. Now they're more confused than anything. As far as being spies, you can't discern that they would be. You reckon that they've been beaten too much to ask questions.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the general vibe that you're getting from these kids.
Okay. I mean, not bad. Well, I mean, if I'm not getting any bad vibes or anything like that, then I'm pretty content.
All right. So, do we want to wait until the rest of the tribe comes up?
Yeah.
Everybody have a unanimous decision here.
I was about to say, is the end
Did
goal
you
for
say-
these the end goal for these prisoners going to be the normal end goal for said prisoners?
No.
Marty was not given any specific order to execute the prisoners.
Right. So Rodney, with trying to become a little more smart about how he uses explosives, he's going to, whether or not they want to against their will, going to utilize the one of the prisoners to test an idea for a pressure plate. Not hooking any explosives to it, but he's gonna grab some scrap metal and whatever wire he can find and tinker around with the weight required to release, and just have a prisoner sit down on it repeatedly.
Okay, that's what you're doing.
Till they show up.
Yeah, so they show up to a
Oh.
kid, kind of. Because those two prisoners are around 17 years old, so you're still kind of kids. They're sitting down under pressure plate, getting back up. You bark at them to sit back down again. They sit down and then get back up.
Just over here with my notepad, writing down asking weight, measuring the mile of wire required.
Rodney off to his weirdness. Yes, Inti.
Did you say earlier that the bikes were getting brought up to the cave?
Yeah, you guys already rode out and got the bikes. You can talk to your brother. Actually, this is probably a good time while you're waiting.
On the outside. Well, once the bikes are in, are any of the kids after they've been tested, can Inti kind of usher them over to the bike and be like, all right, so hey, look, y'all get any problems, come talk to me. All you gotta do is don't be an asshole. Just straight blunt, just tell them don't be an asshole. Don't try and fuck us over, and I will do everything I can to make sure y'all are good. And give him some rations and some water if he's and then hold out a jar and ask if any of them wants some moonshine.
They now that you yourself have brought them to people who are kind to them, they've warmed up to you a little bit. And the whole "don't be an asshole" thing, they just kind of profusely nod their heads. Okay, don't be an asshole. Got it. Cool. Um, they greedily eat your rations and just guzzle water.
That is
They
perfectly okay.
you reckon that they probably haven't eaten in about a day. But whenever you offer the moonshine, I cannot believe that we are condoning this. Uh, they smell it and they just kind of turn their nose to it and hand it back to you.
I'll take a swig and be like, all right, well, if any of you change your mind or want some, you know who to come to.
Oh, great! We're
But
giving kids
it
drugs. Wonderful.
if any, but and I'll be like, if any of y'all want to look at my bike, you're more than welcome to. If you have any questions, come ask me. But you're safe now. That's you. Well, like I want to spend most of the time until the tribe gets there and reassuring them, hey, look, that's not the bad shit's over. Y'all are okay. Y'all survived, and y'all don't have anything to worry about. Like he went from full enraged, ready to kill everyone to like father figure kind of a thing. Just like snap of a switch as soon as kids came into view.
Okay. Um, Marty, your brother mentioned that he needed to talk to you.
I'm gonna shake off the reminiscing of somebody saying that the kids had the right sized fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And just shake that off all of a sudden.
Fuck.
And, you dirty birdie.
Inappropriate.
Nasty.
No.
Not what I was talking about if you had read my backstory.
This is not rated E for
Moving
everyone.
on! Moving on!
Yes, moving on.
I grab Inti and say you needed to talk to me.
Uh, you saw Dad. Do you know what that means? That means something. Do you know what it means? How well do you know our history? You're my brother
Inti,
still, but you are not of us. I know you're not part of. I know you're not born of us, but you've lived with us. Do you know what this means? You're my brother, and before anyone else, you need to know what what's happening. This is an assault on us, on Dad, on Mom, on the Crows, on everyone. Tell me you know what this means.
In the 10 years that we have been family, you have not talked anything about your former tribe. You know I have no idea what that's going to mean. I can tell it means something important to you and Dad, but that is it.
Inti hold just like shoves the arrow up against Marty's chest and like pushes him against the cliff wall or the
Mm-hmm.
cliff face and tells him this is war, but not any kind of war. This isn't just killing you for what you have or killing you because I want something. This is I want to kill you and everyone that loves you, everyone that agrees with you, everyone that thinks like you, everyone you care about. This is a war on the soul of us. This is a war on the soul of the Crows. This is them saying they want us to not only die, but everything we stand for, everything we love, die. Everything about our family and everyone that our family has ever cherished to die completely. No records, wipe everything clean. They are not just trying to kill us, they're trying to eradicate us. That is what this means. There is no bigger insult. In my 70 years, even when Dad was chief, he only did this once. And that was only after they committed crimes so atrocious and heinous that no one, not the Grand Council of Chiefs, not Dad, no one in our tribe, could even think of a way to condone a percentage of what they did. This is as close to damnation as they can come. We're not just fighting for it. We're fighting for everything that we know and everything we love. Do you understand that?
Marty, you know I love you, I love Dad, and I love Mom. But we knew from the moment that he incinerated Chandler that this was going to be a fight to the death. Either the Crows or the Chosen will be wiped out.
This isn't a fight to the
We are
death.
not allowed to make this personal anymore. This is about more than just the old tribe. I understand what that means to you.
This is a fight
But we're
past
Crows now.
death. Death isn't a
All right, guys,
savior.
I'm back.
Death is a step in this fight. This is everything we believed, cursed, yearned for, mythologized, believed, everything. This is a war on everything that makes us anything more than dirt. There is no worse insult. There is no worse way. This is a war on everything that you think, everything you know, everything you want. This is a eradication of everything that makes us us or everything that makes them them. No in between. This is a step that cannot be undone. This cannot be reversed, cannot be reduced. There is nothing worse. This is damnation for all of us, as as deadly and horrible as it can be. This is wishing every evil upon us. We don't only have to react, we have to react similarly. This we have no rules. Eradication of all is the bare minimum. Do you understand?
Marty's gonna reach over, take the arrow.
Mhm.
He's gonna look at Inti and say, "Is there anything to this arrow other than it is a symbol?"
It was shoved in our father. We are the
So there is
reason for it.
nothing of substance to this arrow,
The only
other than the
substance
fact that it
is
was used to hurt our dad.
as far as my beliefs and the beliefs of our people, this is more than anything else. This is greater than a soul.
Real quick, Inti, something clicks in your mind. Considering your conversation with Brandon, you have a feeling that Brandon knows exactly what you were saying to him when you were cursing him. Perhaps one can draw a conclusion of possibly these were the people who displaced your people.
No, yeah, like the basic rest of the point of the conversation would be these are the people that displace us. These are the people that hate us. These are the reasons that we're with the Crows. These are the reasons that your parents were killed, my people were slaughtered, that everything bad that has ever happened to us since your time and before, these are that the people that caused that is coming for us now. This was our last escape. This is death. No, nothing more, everything less. This is the if we do not destroy this with every amount of hate that we can, hate and prejudice is the only way to approach this. I cannot, in no religious context, in any context, damn anyone more than they have damned us now. This is the ancient enemy. This is why we are how we are. Why we love what we love, do what we do, kill what we must. This is everything. this is what we have to destroy to redeem ourselves and be able to claim our heritage and everything that entails again.
Marty, your response?
Inti, I can sum up everything you just told me in a few words. The bill comes due at the end. You are no longer whatever tribe you were a part of. You are now Crow. That bill has been paid. This arrow is now just a symbol. Because Brandon knew it would get a rise out of you, and he wants you to go headlong into danger to try to kill him. We are outnumbered and outgunned, but this got a rise out of you, and he knows that you are now coming for him. You cannot give him that satisfaction.
Inti snatches the arrow, or tries to snatch the arrow from his hand and break it in half. He succeeded. I am coming for him. Either he will die or I will die. I have vowed this until the end of my days, or I succeed. He will die. And then I want to throw the arrow to the side, pissed off, and just walk away.
You gonna let him walk away, Marty?
From the moment he killed Chandler, he signed his own death warrant into. Don't throw everything we've created until now away just because he insulted you.
Are you chasing after him saying this?
No, I'm just standing there.
Inti doesn't even hear it. He's too pissed.
Okay.
Inti's entire
I'm going
reaction
to.
is, "Fuck it, he dies."
I'm going to pick up the arrowhead from the arrow. And good thing you broke it, Brandon, because I was about to snap it. I'm like, no, I don't want to break it and have it become a problem for our characters. Because it's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to rationalize you.
Okay, well, as far as Inti
I
goes right
understand
now,
the role playing now is different,
what?
but I
Well,
didn't
no,
want to accidentally insult your character.
Well, no, so I have an idea that might help with kind of how you're thinking. Is
We'll
Inti
talk-
is so pissed off at this point, he might as well be a barbarian. Like he
we'll
is
talk about
complete
this.
and full
We'll talk
rage,
about
and
this,
the only
Brandon. We'll talk about this in the after session review. Keep on going.
okay.
Moving on.
Time and place for it. It's a time and place.
I thought it would affect the role play. That's what I was saying.
Do.
But okay.
I had to, well, yeah,
What, Marty?
I had something I wanted to do.
You
I
pick up the
can't
arrowhead.
remember what it was. Yes, pick up the arrowhead. Just kind of toss it in my hand. Just kind of look at it a little bit.
The arrow shaft in and of itself seems to be made of a rather sturdy wood material. The arrowhead is steel, but it seems to have a design in it resembling something akin to actual flint. You can see that it has some type of ritualistic meaning.
I'm gonna walk back to Dad. I'm gonna crouch down in front of him. I'm gonna hold it up. I'm gonna look pointedly at Inti and say, "The bill always comes due at the end. Make sure we're not paying more than what is owed." I'm gonna stand up and I'm tuck it in my pocket and I'm gonna walk off.
Mr. GM,
Yes.
do you mind if I try to respond as Dad, just for roleplay purposes?
No. Well, yes, I do mind. I have something
Okay,
else.
that's all you gotta say.
You guys walk away. The trucks end up around this time. They begin pulling up. Once they actually get a lay of what's going on, instead of doing their usual circle formation and then bringing it in tighter, the trucks seem to just wall off that pass area and leave an opening just big enough for one of the smaller trucks to go through. And then they begin setting up their encampment. The rest of the Braves that are on the truck begin securing the area, and the chieftain walks up to you five who have gathered, and he asks for a status report.
2 prisoners, 3 wounded, 3. And I'm just gonna kind of eyeball the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look at Chief. I'm gonna point at the kids and just say, "That." Supplies are inside. Parts are. I'm gonna gesture to the jeeps. Vehicle parts are around. Should we decide to scavenge? They were sabotaged during the initial attack.
Mm-hmm. The chief he's listening intently and he's nodding as you're talking. And you said that there were weapons inside.
Yes, crates full of. And I'm gonna hold out the M1 Garand and just kind of lock the slide to the rear, basically lock and clear it real fast, and kind of hand him the one I've been using.
He grabs it, he looks it over, sends the action home, pulls the trigger. He definitely approves of the craftsmanship. He says, "This looks to be old world tech."
Anything the historians can tell us about it?
It's a battle rifle of sorts, and he hands it back to you. How many weapons do you reckon we've secured?
Did I get a look in one box? Just kind of.
There is someone in this group who did. Rodney.
I'm gonna turn and yell, "Rodney!"
What?
How many rifles did we get?
A fuck ton. I mean, we can outfit almost the entire tribe with this shit.
You can actually indeed outfit the entire tribe to include the non-combatants with these rifles. Each box had maybe around 50 rifles and a whole bunch of ammunition that should last you a fair while. So yeah, you've definitely secured some arms.
I'm gonna assume that Rodney relays that, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna look at the chieftain and relay that to him.
I was about to say, I relayed exactly what I meant. To arm majority of the tribe.
Yeah. The chieftain, nods in approval, and he takes a look at the 3 wounded that you have pulled out, and has NT Senior and the engineer chief, or the chief engineer, taken into pretty much like a medical bay in order to get surgery done on them. Are any of you following?
Sorry.
I asked, are any of you following?
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Yeah, I'm gonna be going with Kylie.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Inti's following, but he's also like obviously still pissed about the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's still just angry, red in the face, pissed off.
Okay. Marty, are you following your dear old dad?
Well, there's yes.
Okay.
The thing we talked about, right? Yeah, Wing Wing.
Ish. Rodney, are you following the chief engineer?
Yes.
Seeing what's going on? What about you, Morgan? What are you doing?
I too am gonna follow.
Yes, so they are brought into the medical bay. You can definitely tell that they are taking X-rays of the arms, the hands, all of that shit. They open up a lockbox and pull out a vial, stick a syringe in said vial, and give half of a vial to each, to Dad, dear old Dad, NC Senior, and the other half to the Engineer Chief. And you can see that their hands are slowly, very slowly, starting to mend themselves back together.
Oh, ain't that a nifty trick?
The thing is, the strong box, it's unlocked by 3 doctors. It's definitely some heavy duty stuff that they don't want anybody getting a hold of.
I'm gonna ask one of the doctors. What is that?
They give you a look of don't ask stupid questions.
Shit above your pay grade.
Yeah,
Most
right?
definitely above your pay grade. But yes, it
I
appears
pay you to
that
kill, not worry.
although they do tell you guys that ears aren't going to be able to get regrown and eyes aren't going to be able to get regrown, they can fix the damage done to the hands. They'll probably lose some feeling in their hands, but it will, at least they'll have mobility.
Well, that's good. Glad to hear the function.
So yes, it's at this point that the after the chieftain, Chief Chris, he looks over everything. Let's say that you guys are kind of walking out of the medical bay whenever he approaches you guys. You see that all 12 of the bodies are being brought out on stretchers, draped in cloth to kind of cover up their bodies, give them a bit of decency. Then they begin digging graves for. No, they would actually be burned. My apologies. They're beginning to pile up wood for pyre. Um, the chieftain then requests you guys to go to the command center to talk to him.
I'm
Do you guys do
gonna go up there.
that? Okay. Then we have Rodney going with that question. What about Morgan?
Yeah, I'll go with Rodney.
Nancy,
Beg your pardon?
are you going to be going up to the command center with the chief?
Yes.
Cat?
Still fuming, but kind of pissy.
Yeah,
quiet,
I'm gonna uh kiss Kylie on her good cheek
Mm-hmm.
and follow.
Brandon, stop breathing your mic.
Yeah, stop breathing in your mic, Brandon.
Oh, sorry. I'm terribly sorry. Now
and
it's muted. Now.
Marty, what about you?
I'm just along for the ride at this point.
So you're gonna go with?
Yes.
Okay. So you all go into the command center, up in truck 1. The door is closed and locked behind you. You can see that the Braves that typically roll around with the chief, they are all circled around that large table in the center of where the bed of the truck would be. And it appears that there is a war council here of sorts.
Oh shit.
It's at this point that the chief, he kind of has you guys stand at one end of the table, and he stands at the other end, flanked by his greatest braves. And he says, "I want a full debriefing now. Is there any intelligence that you were able to find out about our enemy?" Anybody could take it away at this point.
Well, they're outfitted to the fucking gills and rifles.
Well, we could see that if they have more of those weapons, they'll be just confiscated. We're definitely going to have quite a bit of a fight on our hands. Definitely tells us a bit of their capabilities, though. Good work. Anything else?
And our boss wasn't phased at all by us taking said equipment.
Interesting. Morgan, do you have anything to add? Morgan?
Did you get something to add when you're done?
Did he pull a Brandon?
His mic might be off.
Forgot I was on mute.
Austin.
Buddy old pal.
Bruh, don't pull a me and pass out halfway through it.
I didn't pass
Now that
out
I've done
halfway
it
through
both
shit.
ways
I
on
had
the
to go
server,
get
don't do it.
something. I had to go get something.
Yes, so, Morgan, you're in an official debrief. Do you have any intelligence to provide to the chief?
What intelligence was passed while I was not at my desk?
Weapons and Brandon's complete disregard to the fact that we were taking said weapons.
Did anybody mention the number of people we fought?
Hold on.
Oh,
Me
yeah,
or
that too.
I see Brandon? Quick question.
The chosen one, Brandon.
Yeah, chosen Brandon.
10-4, thank you.
The chosen
I
one.
love naming my enemy PCs after my players in real life. It's fucking amazing.
By the way, when we did that, that was not planned.
It
We
was
did
not
not name
planned
him
at all.
after Brandon on purpose.
I know it
was
wasn't
just like,
planned, but
"We
still,
need a
fuck
name
y'all
a
for
dude,
holding on to
like
it
a
because
white guy."
god damn, that's confusing.
So
Fuck.
I kid you not, this is how that conversation went. We were like, we need a name for just some like random white guy, like just a plain dude. And I was like, Brandon, and we were like, bet. And that was it. That's how the name came about.
Yeah. So, Morgan, do you have anything to add?
Morgrim said, did anybody mention the amount of people we had to fight?
Oh, there was that too. There was a shit ton.
Define a shit ton.
What were the exact numbers, guys?
There was like 20 people there this time?
Yeah, you were
Something like that.
you were outnumbered probably 4-1, 5-1 ish.
Look, we can all agree that it was an absolute disgusting fight and not something I want a repeat of.
Morgrim says, possibly rubbing a wound.
They also seem to freaking know we were coming, so there's also that.
Give me an intelligence check, Morgrim.
Intelligence check.
Intelligence or wisdom, whichever is highest.
That's gonna be a whopping. Papi Moñeño.
What?
Chupapi Moñeño.
He rolled a nat one.
No, I didn't. It's gonna be a 18.
You were able to look at something for about maybe 10 to 15 seconds. That was very important. Troop movement.
Our troop movements?
Their troop movement.
Oh.
Yes, if you did not remember that from last session, you do now.
Just out of curiosity, where did we get that?
Huh? When did you get that?
No, where?
The laptop that is currently destroyed.
Did you have those before you sent us out, or no?
What do you mean?
Wait, you said, I thought you said that, or is that something that I looked at while we were on the laptop?
That's something that
but
you
only-
specifically studied whenever you first turned the laptop on.
How did you manage to recover those?
I didn't recover anything. This is something that you remember.
No, but you said
No.
I was looking at it on the table.
No.
Or is that something I remember?
You recall looking at it.
Right. Sorry. I'm gonna ask to borrow a map.
There is a rather large map in front of you and above you.
I'm gonna ask to borrow a pen.
One of the braves, he ends up just kind of grabbing one and hands it to you.
In a feverish, what's the word? I'm just going to very maniacally and insanely scribble out where all of the troop movements would be on the map.
In a frenzy?
Yes, in a frenzy. Thank you.
Anytime.
Yeah, so I'm assuming you're explaining what all is going on as you are
Nope.
frantically. No?
Nope. I am completely and 100% hyper focused.
The chief just kind of looks around to the rest of you with a look on his face of what the fuck is going on? Why is he destroying my map?
I
As soon as
don't
I hear that,
know.
he'd be like, no.
Pay less attention to the map
No,
and more
he doesn't.
attention to what he's drawing.
He doesn't say anything. He's just giving a look of why is he destroying my map? What the fuck is going on?
So Marty's going to pull out a pipe and some loose leaf tobacco. I'm just gonna look at the chief and say, "Don't worry, it gets worse." I'm just gonna start doing my thing, waiting for Morgan to finish.
As soon as I hear that, I full stop, look at the chief, and say, "Oh, so much worse," and go right back to it.
He's possessed by the spirit, sir. He's possessed by the spirit.
Oh, you know a lot about possession, don't you, Rodney?
Oh
Possessed by
God,
the spirit of
creepy little
customer
bitch.
service.
Anyway,
Spooky bitch.
yes, you come to the end of your maniacal drawings, and the chief, he is studying what's going on. Morgan doesn't notice this, but the rest of you notice that it does begin to dawn on him what Morgan is drawing. And you hear him cuss and sue under his breath.
Is Inti there?
Inti is there, yes.
All right. When he hears the chief cuss under his breath, can Inti also say and sue, this is just the logistics. This isn't even what they mean by it. Like, just like forebodingly say that something along those lines.
Sure, you can. The chief just kind of locks eyes with you for a moment, and then goes back
I
to
want to-
looking at what's up?
Inti deadpan stares back at him, and like the look on his face is like, "Bitch, trust me. I promise you, it's worse than you think."
Oh yes, there will be blood. Anyway, at the end of it all, Morgrim, you have just finished drawing out your frantic bullshittery. What are you doing?
I'm gonna take a step back and look at my work.
It looks like shit.
As good as you can do.
Here, how about this? Well, never mind. Just do what you're gonna do.
It is as good as it's going to get. You figure it's probably good enough. Are you going to be giving a brief?
Do I need to? I mean, I've just drawn out their troop movements.
Yeah, I mean, drawing it out would. I mean, it's typically customary to kind of give it a little bit of a briefing. You know this.
Time it out as you draw it out.
Huh?
Time
Actually,
it
yeah,
out as you draw it out.
Yeah, I like that idea with Brandon. So I guess
Okay.
instead of giving an after brief, I would have just been like explaining things as I was drawing.
I was trying to give you that opportunity, but you said no.
Oh.
So yes, you're explaining what you saw. You know, rather large force going here, another large force going there to try to put us specifically into a pincher. You know, all of that shit.
hordes of enemies that we don't have the manpower or armament to fight?
The chief he nods and he just kind of rests his hands on pretty much like the war table that he's at, and hangs his
Can
head for a little
sorry.
bit. He hangs his head for a little bit, then kind of throws a sideways glance to you, NT. What else?
Like the entire time, let Inti like be making everything that Morgrim says be as like very doomsday apocalyptic as can be. Like, hey, look, we're fucked already. Let's not fuck ourselves even more. This is something to take this kind of seriously. Like Inti says, it's or like Morgrim says, oh, they're gonna grenade us here. Inti's like, it's a nuclear bomb. Like, just you worry about it this much, it's so that damn god fucking bad.
But he just throws a sideways glance to you, NT. Anything else?
Speak to my father in Iroquois
He's not
about it.
It's just,
Or no, like no, like I want to tell the chief, hey, look, go ask my father in Iroquois what it means. You'll understand how far this goes
I
after
don't
that.
know that tongue.
Then speak to him in Sioux, but ask him in private. These are our deep rituals and sacred, sacred rituals that we're talking about now, and you're suffering under our old laws, the old ways for us. Go talk to him. Let him tell you
Speak
what
of the
it means.
devil, you guys hear a knock at the door. One of the Braves goes over and opens it, and your father hobbles in. Chieftain, how's it going, boys? I need to speak to the chief. Chief Chris.
Just tell him.
He
Tell him what it means.
Chief Chris regards NT Senior, and he says, come forward. And NT Senior says, I have broken a law that I was swore to uphold under duress. I have given away the existence of the Oasis Mouse. None of you know what that means, but all the Braves and the chief, their faces immediately drop.
Ominous.
You guys can kind of make a bit of commentary if you would like. Dun, dun, dun.
The fuck's an oasis?
What's a map?
Harder than normal puff on pipe.
And this is why I love this group. The chieftain seems to have a bit of, at first kind of understanding of like, well, you were under duress. But NT Senior stands up tall, and NT, you recognize your dad. This is, this is a proud chieftain before another proud chieftain here. He says, by the laws of the crows, I am to be put to death. The chieftain locks eyes with him, nods, and draws his pistol.
Artie is going to stand up,
Hold a moment.
draw on the chief, and say, I am not losing another dad.
Holy shit, is this what we're doing? Rodney pulls out two grenades.
Marty's doing.
NT is like both hands up, one pointed at the chief, one pointed at Marty. Like, hold. Before anything else happens, Dad, explain what that means. You know it better than I do. Explain to everyone so that they all know what we face. If you want to take your punishment, then do so, but not until you tell everyone what they have to know.
NT Senior looks at you. NT, dear old dad, looks at you and says, "You are the chief of our small clan now." And then looks directly at Chief Chris. As at that point, Chief Chris begins walking around the table.
NT will look, or NT will stare and look. NT will stand there, but he's quite obviously not happy in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Marty, what are you doing?
I is going to cock his pistol and say, Chief, you know how I came to be here. I'm not losing another family.
The chief just looks at you directly in your eyes as he walks past you.
NT holds up his arm and it's just like, Marty, let him go the way he wants to. If at least he has a choice. Those bastards didn't kill him, but he is being a man and accepting what he did and the consequences for it. Let him die with that dignity if he so choose. We know who to kill after this.
I watched my mother.
Rodney, you still have bombs out.
I'm just confused. I'm sitting here like, what the fuck's going on, boys?
Morgan, what are you doing?
Morgan has a very concerned look on his face and is getting ready to dive under a table.
Ket.
TNT.
Ket is like backed up into like a dark corner, just kind of standing there, watching what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really concerned either way, but he doesn't really particularly want bullets flying in this close quarters.
So yes, the chief stands before NT Senior. NT Senior just kind of closes his eyes. It's at this point that the chief grabs his hand and places his own pistol into NT Senior's hand and says, "If anybody should be punished, it's me for putting you in that position."
It's just gonna breathe a sigh of relief.
Marty.
Beans. I'm gonna decock my pistol and just slowly holster it.
NT.
And he's still kind of standing there. His expression hasn't really changed that much. He's like he was willing to let his dad die with honor because that was how he chose to go. So he's happy that his dad isn't dead, but like he's also standing there like, okay, well, there somebody still has to die. It's not dad today, but somebody's got to fucking die.
Do I love you?
Like NT is in a lot more control of his rage, but he is still in full rage mode.
Ket said he was relieved.
Full
Rodney,
Hulk, I'm always angry.
Oh my god. Rodney, what is your demeanor now?
I mean, everything's calmed down, so he's just going to slowly put them back away, hoping no one noticed he pulled them out.
Oh, believe me, it was noticed. Morgan. Morgan, I think he is handling stuff. So it's at that point, NT Senior, dear old dad, holds the gaze of the chieftain for a moment, and then places the pistol back in his hand.
I'll be right back.
And says to the chief, "Honor demands we set this right. We go to war, and I will follow you to Hell's Gates. And your father nods to the chief. The chief he nods back, and he says, "All right, now tell me about this meaning, Inti."
This is a war on us, everything we know, everything we love, everything that has anything to do with us. This is damnation in the most sacrilegious and hateful of ways. This is a declaration of war on our very being, not just on me or you, our soldiers or our country. This is a war on everything that we ever knew. There is no mercy. There is no quarter. This is as savage, brutal, and anarchic as war can become. We have this is no laws, only slaughter.
The second this is coming from the chief. The second that they started kidnapping my people and torturing them, from the second they reduced one of my men, who was honestly one of the greatest men that I ever knew, to ash, this already became fucking personal.
This is beyond personal. This is spiritual. They want to kill not only us, but this is to the point of they want to kill our gods, our ideas, our thoughts,
Well, you know what, Inti, the
everything
feeling's
to do with
mutual,
us.
but that doesn't mean
Then
that we
you're
can't be
prepared.
snuffed. And it's at that point
Then you're prepared.
he grabs a radio and begins saying shit rather quickly in Sioux, radioing in back to the silo. He after he gets done saying his bit, talking about, I need to speak to the High Chieftain immediately. This is, Chief Chris. Put him on the phone now, kind of thing. He turns to you guys and says, "If there's anything else, speak. If not, you're free to go."
Let loose the dogs of war.
Inti wants blood.
We all want blood.
Blood isn't enough. Flesh has to be taken.
So is there any other information that you feel like the chief needs to know?
Don't think there's anything off the top of the head.
Not from Inti. Inti's entire message is kill them, hate them, hate fuck them, then kill them, hate kill them, then fuck them, whatever, so long as they die.
What about you, Marty? Wait, Marty said that he was going to be bouncing up for a second, and he'll be right back. What about you, Chet?
No, I guess I don't really have anything.
So yeah, you guys are ushered out the cab of the truck. You're free to do whatever you would like. The tribe, you gather from some of your fellow tribesmates that you guys are going to be staying here for a few days to kind of lick your wounds, repair your vehicles, regroup, refit before you set off, kind of thing. So you have some time here to get some R&R, some well-earned R&R, whatever you need to do.
Did we ever figure out what did we do with the prisoners? Or the two prisoners we took?
Prisoners were taken. You don't know where they are necessarily.
Let's see if we can go squeeze them for some more information.
You can make an investigation check to find them.
Yeah, let me.
Go ahead and give me one of those. We're going to go to Ket, because Ket hasn't been able to have any spotlight for a little bit. Ket, what are you going to be doing?
Investigation. 19.
Okay, give me a second, Rodney. What was that, Ket?
I'm assuming Kylie is still in the medical truck.
No, she was given a once over, and they just said that she needs some rest, so she's in her quarters.
I'm gonna go see her.
Yeah, she appears to be laying down on her side, reading a book. Her
Facing
expression.
me or away from me?
She's facing you. Whenever she hears you approach, her demeanor goes from rather dreary to warm, and she greets you, gives you a kiss on the cheek.
Um, I'm just gonna climb over her on the bed and just lie, like put my arm around her and just lay there and try to get some rest.
Yeah, she snuggles up to you. Um, she just calmly reads her book, and right as you're about to doze off, because you're comfortable, she nudges you awake, and she has a bit of a serious look on her face.
What's the matter? Evie.
Honestly, I saw your bike go down when
No,
you were chasing us down. I legitimately thought that you were dead. I just can't get that out of my mind. And she just sits up and she's holding her head in her head in her hand, begins tearing up. I think you think that all of the events of the past couple of days is just hitting her all at once.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and sit up, Indian style on the bed, and reach up gently and take her hand, hold them in my hand. I'll just kind of look at her, give her that "Don't worry, I'm here" look,
Mm-hmm.
and just say with the most seriousest face, just that you're not gonna get rid of me that easily.
Through her tears, she smiles. She gives you a hug. You guys have a rather heartfelt moment, but she is definitely not in the mood for any funky stuff. We are
Good
going to
lover's
go.
touch buff.
We're going to go to Morgrim. Morgrim.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was there purely for
Yeah.
cuddles and inspiration.
Yeah. Morgrim.
Hey, hey.
Ooh, can you mute yourself real quick? I think he already did. Morgrim, what are you doing? You see Rodney has gone off and he is looking for a prisoner.
I'm still in the war room, right?
No, you guys were ushered out.
I'm, my character. Well, not my character. I think Morgrim wants to go. I don't know that he wants to go pray. I think really he just wants to go kind of relax a little bit because we haven't really had any downtime since the fight. We literally jumped into a fight and then hard riding.
Yeah.
So I definitely think he wants to go. He may not want to be like alone, but somewhere where he doesn't have to do much. Just kind of sit back, kick his feet up, take a deep breath, recenter himself, kind of thing.
Yeah, you can kind of go on the outside perimeter of where the trucks are and just kind of. It's still daylight outside. Yeah, it's maybe mid afternoon. You can
Okay.
definitely just kind of sit down, read a book, lean up against a tire, just kind of forget about all the bullshit that you were just dealing with.
Yeah, let's do that.
You sit down. Are you read? What are you reading? Are you reading just a regular book, or are you reading your tome?
I'm gonna read my tome.
Well, your tome is in the form of a Bible.
A what?
A Bible, a
Okay.
rather ornate Bible. So you're pretty much reading scripture at the moment. When off to your left, you hear the fluttering of wings.
Okay. I'm not even gonna look. I'm just gonna be like, well, hello there.
Hello, Morgan.
What brings you down here?
Just coming to check on you.
I survived. Kinda.
I'm rather happy that you did.
Yeah, me too. It was not fun. It's not a good time.
I see one of your friends is having a crisis of faith.
Yeah, I don't think he really liked my answer when he asked how a god how a god could exist, allowing everything that happens to happen.
They never do at first. And then he just kind of sits down next to you on a tire and looks out, towards the plains.
Well, given some time, I'm sure he'll come around.
Maybe.
The cake is a lie.
Yeah, he just sits down next to you and just you two have a quiet moment. Unless you would like to ask him questions.
No, I don't really think asking him questions ever really goes in my favor. So we're just gonna enjoy the time.
Yeah, he enjoys the time right next to you, and he just sits down, looking out towards the plains. You guys just share a quiet moment. We're going to go to Marty. It seems your party is kind of dispersing and doing their own thing. Marty.
I'm going to do. I'm here. I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do two things. I'm going to pull my bandana over my nose, find the librarian or somebody that owns books that trades in books and things,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like look around, make sure nobody's looking, and ask him if he has a Bible.
Oh, yeah. The closest thing to a librarian on the mobile city. He looks up, kind of squints. Marty?
No. Mark. I just look like Marty.
Give me a deception check.
I knew that was coming. Dang it. This is perfect. I got a 5. Hold on, let me see what my modifier is. +0. Perfect. 5.
The librarian squints at you even more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's one right over there on that shelf, third one down. I want it back.
I'm just gonna go get it, and go as I go to exit. I'm just gonna turn and look at him and say, "If you tell Morgrim, I will pop your tires." I'm just gonna leave. Just exit very quickly.
He mimics zipping his lips and tossing away a key, and then goes back to reading his book.
All right. Then I'm going to go find a secluded area outside the little circle of, or the little like half moon of trucks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna set the Bible on the ground, like in front of me. I'm gonna sit back and be like, "All right, now how am I supposed to do this?" Asking out, like
so
anything
as
that
you're
might
walking
answer.
as you're walking outside of the perimeter, you look off to your left and you see Morgrim sitting next to someone you don't recognize, seemingly sharing a quiet moment with Morgrim reading a rather ornate Bible. So I'm assuming you're going to go right and just kind of sneak off.
Yes.
Well, you do indeed do that. You find a little area, a little outcropping area of rocks. You just kind of set the book down. You look over your shoulder. Morgrim is not paying you any attention. As a matter of fact, you can't see him anymore. So, yeah, what are you doing?
like I said, I'm gonna set the book on the ground in front of me. I'm gonna kind of like sit back on my heels,
Mm-hmm.
stare like at the Bible, and then kind of just ask it. All right, now how am I supposed to do this?
Do what exactly?
He's role playing. You leave him alone. You leave my
No,
special boy alone.
No. I'm not anywhere near you. I'm like gone. Like I snuck away from you. I don't want you knowing I'm doing this.
Oh,
Well, I'll be fucking damned.
Oh no.
You're sitting down. You think, how am I supposed to do this? The book appears to just kind of stare deep into your soul. You and this book are in staring contest for a couple of minutes.
And suddenly the book is your wife.
When something dawns upon you, it's almost like a little voice in the back of your head. Just pick up the fucking book and read it.
Morgrim is gonna hear a loud yell of, "That's not what I meant, and you know it!"
I mean, do you look behind you? Because the voice just kind of seemed to be from behind you.
Yes.
That stranger that Morgan was sitting next to just appears to be sitting on a rock, using another rock to kind of prop his head up. Just giving you a look of, pick up the book and read. Morgrim, I will say you do not notice Zaskiel left.
that's fine.
I assume you're the one that Morgrim sneaks off to talk to every so often.
I'm just here to answer
Don't act
questions.
surprised. Of questions, I have several. Of the one you're trying to answer, it's not quite what I was asking.
You get one more question, and I'm just going to leave.
Why? That's all I want to know. And you know what I'm asking about.
Why not? And then he disappears with a flutter of wings, like a sound of fluttering of wings.
Morgan's gonna hear another yell of, "That's not funny!"
Morgan, you hear a yell of "That's not funny" coming from somewhere out there, and Zachiel appears to have kind of been startled. What was that?
You know what? I'm not even gonna ask questions.
The voice that said that was awfully Marty sounding.
Do I want to know?
You want to know what? Zachiel says,
Why
looking at you bewildered.
Why he's yelling?
He thinks. And then he returns to looking at the horizon.
Alrighty then.
Back to reading the book. Marty.
Yes.
You were angrily shouting to nobody.
I'm going to draw my pistol, point it at the Bible, wait 30 seconds, holster my pistol, walk over, pick up the Bible, sit back down, open up the book. I don't know if Marty ever learned how to read.
I don't know if he knows how to read.
According to Dungeons and Dragons rules, if it's a language that you're proficient in, you know how to read and write it.
Okay, cool. I'm like, my parents died when I was like 7 to 8. Like, I can read schematics, maybe not English, but
it is It is it is written in common. You open up the book. It says, Bible, what have you, and it starts off with the first words of the Bible. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, and you begin reading. Are you going to be doing that all day for the most part?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to come back to Rodney because we've given Inti a little bit too much spotlight here. Rodney,
And T is fine with
you end up going over to truck 3, and you do see that there are a couple of guys who appear to be kind of chained to the side of the truck.
Is it the same two that I was messing with earlier, making them sit repeatedly?
Do you draw closer?
Yes.
That appears to be so.
Oh. Well, lucky who it is.
Yeah, they look absolutely scared.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not going to make you guys sit on any more pressure plates. At least not right
Okay.
now. Anyways, I had questions about anything you guys possibly know or you haven't shared yet. And while saying this, I'm going to begin pulling out said pressure plate equipment.
What do you want to know?
Oh, I mean, you guys had to have some kind of inkling of the inner workings. Like, for instance, where did you guys get those kids?
I mean, they were there before we showed up. Honestly,
Oh,
at first we were just looking for a job, and then we got pressed into the service of some army.
damn, that sucks. How'd you guys go about finding this job? You just taking anybody willy nilly?
Well, we were in a place called Nashville. Uh, not much of it left. Kind of craterized, but we were in a place called Nashville, way off to the east, and there was someone offering work to anybody who knew how to shoot a gun. Next thing we know, we were pressed into an army called the Chosen Men.
Did you guys fall for that baloney of chosen men?
I mean, it sounds decent enough. I mean, we were getting paid.
I mean, the money is what matters.
I mean, when you have a mouth to feed, which is yourself, I mean, you got to do whatever you got to do. They kept us fed. They kept us paid. Well, this was blown on hookers and booze, but it is what it is.
Right. Well, it sounds like your guys' moral compass isn't completely fucked.
This man said booze.
But better yet, it doesn't seem like you guys know much of anything. I guess I could just start using you guys for pressure plate practice again. Swear there won't be any explosives attached to it.
Oh my god.
It is, unless you guys know something tasty. Anything good? Any gossip? Ever any conversations you shouldn't have?
I'm back.
Well, apparently the head honcho was looking for something called bunkers. I don't know what the fuck a bunker is, but he said that he was looking for bunkers and that some group called the Crows were hiding them.
Well, yeah, that serves about right. Nothing else interesting? Just the bunkers? It's the only thing you ever talked about? Oh, wait. Did you guys have any plans of leaving said cave, or was that like your place of duty?
We were supposed to inventory these weapons and Like a large group of them were supposed to come by. We were supposed to outfit them and then roll with them.
Oh, well, that's a bummer. Any time frame when those motherfuckers are going to show up?
Honestly, couldn't tell you.
Well, thanks for the info. Guess I'll leave you alone. I'm going to go find Marty.
Good luck with that. Inti. Inti.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Once I've said my piece, as far as what's going on, what the meaning of shit is, I kind of want to just go back and just kind of try and stay around my bike and like watch the kids, try and keep an eye on them, make sure somebody's paying attention to them.
Actually, those three kids, as you're walking up, at first you think they're taking your bike apart, but upon further inspection, they're changing your oil.
I want to rub them on the heads and say, "Hey, good fucking job. Thank y'all. I appreciate it." And like, do I have or like do rations come with anything kind of like sweet, like any kind of candy I can give them as like a hey, look, thank you, here's a reward, good kids.
Um, yeah, I mean, you can hand them a candy bar. I'll let you do that.
Okay, yeah, then I want him like candy bar and some shit like, hey, yo, look, y'all doing right, y'all doing good shit. Keep on, keep it up.
Yeah, they end up, repairing, some bullet holes. They help you because you said that you were going to be doing some repairs on your bike yourself.
Yeah, that was under the assumption that we could get it back to the like
Yeah,
main city and then doing repairs there.
You've got enough downtime that you can fix your bike up, get it new. They help you with the forks.
Yeah,
Um,
awesome.
I mean, you end up having to kind of scrap some other motorcycles that were just laying around for scrap. But yeah, you replace the forks on the bike, uh, bang out all of the dents in the tins, fill in some of the bullet holes with a little bit of welding, repaint, all that shit. And I'm assuming you're just kind of hanging out with the kids, smoking and joking with them, fixing your bike.
Yeah, like honestly, just kind of, for lack of a better way of saying it, just being the cool uncle for a minute.
Yeah, they're definitely starting to warm up to you, especially since comparatively, more about motorcycle engines and just engines in general than they do, and whatever they don't know, that whatever you're teaching them, they are just absorbing it like sponges.
Yeah, and that's how, like as we're going over it, I want to be like, so hey, what does this do? And just like test them and see how far they know and shit.
They catch on quick, like really
Yeah,
quick.
or
They
like
are
let them catch
sharp
on,
kids.
but I'm still asking it.
Yeah, they are sharp kids, and they come out with answers like that, like that, like that. All three of them.
Good fucking yard. Good yard.
Um, but yeah, they ask you if they can work on your companions' bikes too.
Uh, I want to tell them, hey, look, so just come up and let me know, and y'all are more than welcome to work on my bike, play with it, mess with it, such as that. If you give us enough time and you don't, and you work hard enough, I'll try and get each of you a bike that y'all can work on, ride, and play on. But go up and ask them. I promise no one's going to be mean, abusive, anything like that. If you ask them, the worst they will say is no. And if anyone does more than that, come tell me, and I will take care of it immediately.
Yeah, they scatter. Um, Rodney, right as you're getting done with your conversation with the prisoners, and you're kind of looking around the area for Marty, Kai approaches you. Hey, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. And he begins like, tugging on your hand.
What's up, little dude?
Can I work on your bike?
Sure. I mean, I really don't care. Just don't break it.
Hell yeah! And he just runs off. No explanation whatsoever.
The fuck was that all about?
And he's just grinning in the background.
So,
Go,
Ket,
my minions.
Ket. I love that. Kat, as you and Kylie are having a bit of a heartfelt moment, you're hearing small footsteps.
I'm just gonna kind of look up and make eye contact with her, with Kylie, and kind of tilt my head in the direction of the door.
Those footsteps are getting closer. It's at that point that you hear those footsteps enter because the living quarters would be on truck 2. You hear those little steps enter the living quarters, and then they begin. You can kind of tell that they're searching the area.
Okay.
It's at this point that one of them finds you, and they kind of whisper, shout to the other one, and two kids, Greg and Joe, they end up converging. Hey, can we work on your bike?
I'm just gonna look up at him and kind of smirk a little. Yeah, no problem. Repaint it if you want. Same colors though.
Okay. Oh, hi, Miss Kylie. And they jump and tackle her in a hug real quick, and then jump off of her bed and just sprint away. Sure enough, NC, as you're kind of doing the last finishing touches, maybe touching up some paint with like a paint pen or something, you see Kai, Greg, and Joe. They end up going over to Ket's and Rodney's bikes, and they begin just working on them.
Well, good for them.
Very proactive little kids. Marty, how is your Bible reading going? Marty?
No, it's going all right.
It's going
I
all
mean, anybody that's ever tried to read the Bible knows that like the first 3 books are the driest of dry.
Called genealogy.
Yeah, you're right.
You hear a fell voice on the wind saying, Marty, Marty, where are you? And it sounds a little like Rodney.
I'm gonna stand up, take the Bible, and just stick it in an inside pocket of my coat, and then attempt to go find wherever the voice is originating.
Yeah, you end up rendezvousing up with Rodney.
Marty. Just was poking at the prisoners. Apparently, there were supposed to be people coming this way. Do you think they're still coming this way?
Would not hurt to be vigilant.
All right, that's what I
stick
thought.
my
I just wanted to
fingers in
get a
my mouth.
second opinion.
I'm gonna stick my fingers in my mouth because we were. I was over by like the trucks where they'd be like the perimeter essentially. So I'm gonna stick my fingers in my mouth. I'm gonna whistle real loud. I'm looking to see one of the guards stick his head over the side.
Yeah, one of them kind of looks back and he looks around and, hey, what's up?
We got some intel that says people are going to be coming this way, just so you're aware.
All right, I'll pass it along.
Have a boring one.
Whoa. And you see his head disappear.
Yeah, man. Anytime guard duty is really interesting, it's a bad guard duty.
It's at this point that we're going to. I've been there before. It's not fun. At this point, we're going to just kind of call a little bit of a break, and So for those of you watching, it's only going to be a few seconds, but this is a time to pause, go get yourself food, snacks, what have you, and yeah, we're going to take a short break, and we will be right back. 2 and 1. We are back.
Your mama.
Okay, we are back, and we're going to pick this up the next day. So the next day, you all wake up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Let's crack it on. Breakfast is already being cooked and served out. Um, yeah, so you wake up from your dwelling areas. The chief engineer is back in his workshop, still walking a little slow. He seems to be in some pain, but he's he's getting there. He's staying gingerly on his feet because his toenails are still gone, but he's tinkering in his little workshop. Dear old daddy, for Marty and Inti, he's back in his workshop. He seems to be polishing one of the new weapons. He's kind of going over it. He's taken it apart, kind of tinkered around with it. Kylie, she's woken up, and after being consoled and snuggled up to all night, she's waking up in a bit of a cheerier mood. She ends up bringing you a plate, Ket, and that's how you woke up. Um, so yeah, we'll start this off with Morgrim. Morgrim, what are you doing? What's your little morning ritual thing that you're going to be doing?
I don't know that Morgrim actually really like has a morning ritual. I think he's mainly just gonna kind of get up, get himself some coffee, maybe try to locate some breakfast, and go from there.
Yep. You see the tribe is gathering around, the little mess area. They're piling on some eggs, some sausage, biscuits and gravy. Nothing made in a gourmet restaurant, but it's good eating.
Everybody say sausage, keep it going. Eggs, bacon, grits.
Sausage.
I give my girl my sausage.
Sausage. Oh, you messed that up so bad.
Anyway,
I know.
Anyway, you grab yourself some breakfast. Are you eating anywhere particular?
No, I'm just gonna sit down wherever there's available. I'm not picky. I mean, I am, but I'm not.
Yes. You sit down. Um, Eat your food. We'll go over to Rodney.
Oh, Rodney's gonna, of course, go grab his normal breakfast, and then he's gonna go check in on the lead engineer.
Yeah, he's tinkering around. Do you bring him a plate?
Of course.
He thanks you graciously. You see that he's still having some trouble picking up the silverware with his screwed up hand. He complains about not really having any feeling, but he eats and he's appreciative.
So,
What's up?
I was gonna say, so, what you working on there, boss?
Oh, trying to put this engine back together for one of the smaller scout trucks.
Oh well, shit. Let me help out.
Yeah, so you two end up eating breakfast together and throwing wrenches. Inti,
Yep.
Yes.
what are you doing this morning?
First thing in the morning, I want to do is I want to go back over towards towards where all the engineers and smiths and shit are. I want to finish that sword that I'm trying to work on.
Yes, go ahead and give me a we'll say intelligence, with proficiency because you're using your smith tools. Go ahead and roll one of those checks for me. And Josh, I'm getting another vaping ASMR from you. Can you
Oh,
mute yourself?
my bad. Sorry, I thought I muted.
Yeah, so go ahead and give me one of those checks there. Did you make your check?
Sorry. Right about to it. Just I need to enter text real
Okay, we'll
quick.
come back. We'll come back to
Uh,
you. Cat.
no, okay,
Oh,
sent.
well, wait.
There we go.
Okay, make your.
Yeah, no, like I made one more word for the text. There's no 20. That's, you said an intelligence
Intelligence with proficiency.
with proficiency. I already have proficiency, so that is going to be a 14.
So 14. You are able to make a rudimentary short sword.
All right.
Nothing
Scroll
fancy at
down
all.
now. That's
Uh,
fine.
so now we're going to move on to Ket. Ket, what are you doing?
Yeah, I get woken up for breakfast, so I'm in a good mood. I just kind of sit up in the bed, uh, reach up for my plate, and as she bends down to give it to me, I'm gonna kiss her, tell her thank you, and start eating my food. In between bites, I'll ask her how her night went, how
Uh,
she's feeling.
she says that she's feeling a little bit better. Um, you spending some time with her definitely helped. Uh, she does voice that she still has nightmares though, but she's managing it.
I'll say, that's good. Uh, I'm just glad you're okay.
She points to the hole in her head. Relatively speaking, yes. But
I'm just gonna kind of look at her ear, where her side of her head,
mm,
and I'm gonna ask her if she can still hear out of that ear.
kinda, not really. All sounds muffled.
Huh. That sucks. Uh, yeah. I guess I'm just gonna. I'll say, sorry I couldn't get there sooner. Uh, and I'll just finish eating my food.
She just gives you a pat on your leg, doesn't really say anything, and she continues eating her food. Marty, you wake up, and right next to your head is your Bible.
Hmm. Going to pick it up, tuck it in my my little chest pocket. I'm gonna go outside.
Before you do, your mother ends up coming in and handing you a plate of food with some coffee.
Ooh, coffee.
Coffee.
Chocolate.
Do you take her food that she's giving you?
Yes. Take the food, drink coffee.
Right as you finish eating your food, you hear what appears to be an action closing from inside your dad's shop.
You have piqued my curiosity.
Yes.
I'm gonna mosey on over there.
Yeah. So you open up the door. Your dad appears to be checking over one of the new rifles, and you see next to him he has some rudimentary blueprints, kind of drawn and scribbled out with some notes to the side.
Does it pass your inspection?
Oh, of course, this is honestly a Rather beautiful rifle, very well crafted. He says, just kind of working the action.
Can you tell when it was made?
Definitely made in the old world. Did some digging on some old notes for my grandfather. I was able to scrounge up, and apparently this was the main battle rifle of. They called themselves the United States. Somewhere around the year of 2132. He says, and he hands you a piece of notebook that you can definitely tell it is ages older than yourself. And the writing in it is, you can discern that it is common, but it is an older form of common that you are just, some of it just appears to be fleeting.
What does this word mean? Yeet?
Oh my god.
To throw or dispose of. Verb.
Yeeticus Maximus.
Um, yeah, so you are able to discern the gist of what the notes are saying, and apparently the rifle in and of itself is chambered in something called 30-06. Very rare cartridge. You've only ever seen that cartridge once before, and that was when you were young.
Oh, interesting.
Back when you were still living in the bunker.
It's not where I grew up there, home slice.
Oh, my apologies.
I've sent you my backstory. You should know this.
Shut the fuck up. It was something that your first dad used before the little pandemic that they had.
I recognize this.
Very
My
rare,
last
though.
round. My last round was what the crows used to find me. I had just shot my last one to kill the deer that they found me. When they found me.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely got some punch to it. Uh, your dad says, taking back the notebook. Yeah, I took the liberty of taking your rifle and giving it a good once over, a polish. It's good to go. And he begins working the action, and you can tell that it is slick as silk.
Hmm. Still got it, I see.
Yeah, I would advise once you load it to get your thumb out of the way. Pinch me fairly good. I couldn't feel it, but drew a little bit of blood, and you can see that your dad's wrapped his thumb up with some tape.
Probably be better if you used your hand to block the action from going forward while your thumb was in the danger zone.
Yeah, I found that out a little too late.
Story of my life.
But yeah, you now have your rifle honestly looks pretty damn clean. The polymer is been restored to. It honestly looks like some type of high tech gun that honestly should shoot laser beams. Uh, but yeah, you have a nice clean rifle.
Yay.
Yes. Do you want to continue helping your father in the shop?
Sure.
Yeah. So you and your dad end up, kind of going over all the rifles. All the rifles. Well, most of them anyway were kind of piled up in your dad's shop, and you guys were just, restoring them to their former glory. They were working before, but now they're working fairly well now. We'll come back to Inti.
Okay.
You walk out of the forges. Uh, right around the time that the camp is waking up. You being an elf, you don't necessarily need that much sleep. Um, so yeah, you can well whatever you would like to do for the morning, you can go ahead and do.
Well, now that I've finished my sword, I kind of want to, unless the party's going to have a meeting between ourselves or like the chief or something like that,
Hmm.
then I kind of want to just spend most of the day keeping an eye out on the little ones.
Yeah, after maybe another hour or so, Kai is the first one that wakes up. He yawns, stretches, and sees that you're. Are you working on the bike right now? On your bike?
Yeah,
Yeah, he sees that you're working on your bike, and he just kind of sits down next to you on top of his little toolbox and asks you what you're doing.
I'm making sure everything's tight and in place and good to go. That way, if I need it, I don't have to work on it beforehand. How'd you sleep, bud?
Oh, those beds were really comfortable. Feet sleeping on stone.
I'll bet. So you want to eat breakfast, or you ready to get to work?
Breakfast?
Yeah. And then now, like, jerk my head over to the hall and be like, yeah, go look for there should be some food out there, and if you can't find any, come back to me, and I'll give you what shitty bed I got.
Okay. And he gets up and he kind of wanders over. Comes back with a plate about the size of his head filled to the brim with food.
I just chuckle and be like, there you go, boy. Good on you. Now make sure you eat it all.
We don't
You
waste
done earned
anything
all
around
that
here.
food, boy. You done earned it. Eat it all. Get fat and happy. If you need to take a nap, take you a nap.
So I'm going to say that all of you were able to meet up at some point in time in your own little, mechanic motor pool area, roughly next to the chief engineer's area. You're hearing Rodney and the chief engineer cussing at an engine because it won't roll over. But yeah, if you guys want to kind of talk amongst each other, you're more than welcome to.
I was about to say the cursing coming from the chief would be mimicked by the same cursing I'm doing, probably just in like different languages.
The fucking flux capacitor works.
Motherfucker, cut.
But well, we'll also say that at this position right now, the gun shop that is owned by NT Senior is relatively close to the chief engineer. So we're bringing all of you guys here. You guys can talk amongst yourselves and role play amongst yourselves and whatnot. Come up with your own little plans or what have you.
Dun, 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 dun. Tinkering
Um,
away
Don't
with this
anybody speak in that language.
engine.
I
This
guess I would
engine
just
is
ask
my bitch.
if um, everyone had a good night. Everybody saw to their wounded, and everybody's okay.
Yeah, sort of. Good night ish. I slept. This fucking engine, though.
I swear to God, this thing is pissing me off. I'm about to put a fucking bullet in it. You hear from
Why don't we?
inside.
Why don't we just fucking blow it up already? Fuck this shit.
It's at this point that George, no, not George, Greg and Joe, they're waking up. They've had their breakfast and they just poke their head inside. What's going on?
The engine won't roll over. Would you mind getting your little hands in here? There's something loose.
They go in and they help. NT, you're seeing that the other kids are really beginning to feel comfortable here. But
So
it's kind of being overshadowed by the incessant cursing by Rodney and the chief engineer. I forget the name.
let them. There's been plenty of shit worth cursing done in the past little while. It is perfectly okay to be cursing it.
Morgram, you are in the same area as your friends. Do you have anything to add?
No, I don't think so.
Well, this is your time to roleplay.
So the kids are helping out. They're adjusting well.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. And you said they were working on bikes, like bike engines.
Kai is helping Inti on his motorcycle, as to which Kai would probably be coming up to you and grabbing your hand and tugging on you, asking if he can work on your bike and turn a wrench on it.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Go for it, kid.
The other two are helping to work on a truck engine that the chief engineer and Rodney have pulled out of a truck onto like an engine stand, and they're working on it
Okay.
inside the shop.
But you gotta oversee the truck engine and check that out and see how they're doing if they need any help.
There's a lot of cursing. Even the kids have begun picking up the cursing.
Had to boil it, the anger flow. Fuck this engine.
Good. Yeah, I'm gonna ask if there's anything I can do to help them out, I guess.
Yeah. Grab that screwdriver over there.
There's a lot of hands, both large and small, in this engine. It's probably he'd probably get in the way. You do, however, see Morgan. You see Marty walking outside, piling up some freshly polished weapons outside.
Ooh, I'm gonna go walk over to Marty.
Marty, Preacher Boy is walking up to you as you are about to go back inside the shop where your dad is at.
Yes.
How's your reading going?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Don't lie to me.
You can't prove it.
I actually don't think you know what he's talking about.
He has no idea.
Oh.
In character, no.
Well,
All you know is Zadkill is a prankster.
All I know is Zadkill's a prankster.
That's not funny.
All right. Have you given any more thought to our conversation? You left in kind of a rush.
All thoughts lead nowhere. Every road is just an extra dead end.
Can't hear. It sounds like you're really far away.
Partly because I was leaning back and was rubbing my face.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying something super profound and cool. It was off the cuff, and now it's gone. So
all roads lead somewhere, and it's all a dead end.
all roads lead to dead end. Every question has no answer. What else is new?
I mean, that just sounds morbid and depressing.
We just raided a cave full of chosen, air quotes, shot all of them, rescued Ket's girlfriend who was missing an ear because the ear was put into the mouth of my adoptive father, to which he chewed and was forced to eat it. He had an arrow stuck through his mouth. The chief engineer had multiple broken bones, and the rest of the hostages were filleted open like pigs at market. Such is the world we live in.
I mean, nobody's said that, what we do is going to be easy.
Right there. You got me there.
And see, you are overhearing this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to weigh in?
No, not at the moment.
This is a can of worms that he does not want to open right now. What about you, Ket?
Nah.
Do you want to weigh
Check your messenger.
No, I'm definitely just going to be enjoying the show.
He said, "I'm
I
not
don't-
touching this one."
Yeah, I don't think Ket really gets into the whole religion thing. He respects that Morgrim does, but he's not really into it. Not his thing.
To be fair, this was started by Marty.
It was though.
Hey, we slept on that. Thus, this can of worms has now been reopened by you. Thus, you started it. You are to
At
blame.
this point, Marty, you feel like the book is about to fall out of the pocket that you have it in.
I'm gonna reach over and swap my chest real fast and just like act like I'm scratching it and kind of like tuck it back in there.
Give me a deception check.
Ah, beans. Did not do very well on this one. Come on, deception. Oh wow, an 11.
He said, "Oh wow."
I mean, you guys know how bad my rolls are.
Morgrim, Marty's acting kind of weird.
You good there, buddy?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I mean, I asked, so.
Marty, get your ass back
yeah.
in here. There's another rifle that needs to be taken apart.
You're gonna hear me go, oh, duty calls. I'm gonna sprint off. Very out of character.
Saved by the bell.
That's what I was thinking. Saved by the bell. Rodney, it turns out that there was a bolt stuck in I'll say like cylinder 3. The kids were able to find it, pull it out, and they retorqued the head to specs, and now you were able to roll the engine over smoothly.
Hell yeah. You little dudes are a freaking godsend.
They are brimming with joy at your praise. I think we'll turn
Well,
them into decent engineers, given enough time.
oh, definitely. Have any of you thought about explosives?
They both kind of turn their head to you, like off to the side. What are those?
Oh,
no.
boy, let me tell you.
Inti,
There.
two of your adopted kids are talking to Rodney about explosives.
I want to give them all the encouragement I can.
Oh God. So how are you going to be doing this?
What? Teaching them about explosives?
No, I'm talking about Inti giving encouragement.
Oh.
Like offer them, like give them all like some pencil and some paper to write down notes, and be like, hey, bring out some more explosives. Show them the different kinds. Tell them how you make each of them. Like y'all pay attention. This will be fun. Once y'all can make some, we'll take you out and you can throw some.
Oh yeah.
Kai is beginning to poke his head in. What are explosives?
Things that go boom. You want to try?
Sure. And he
Come
ends up
on,
taking
then.
a notebook and a pen. And I cannot believe that we're doing this, but we're raising child soldiers now. Wonderful. We're never gonna get
War
monetized.
crime.
Oh,
Nah,
you
we're
did not have a
not
certified-
child soldiers. Just
You did not have a certified school board certified
explosives
curriculum for us to
experts.
follow, so us teachers just have to take it upon ourselves. This isn't Common Core.
I mean, it's not like they're like 6 and 7. You said they were like 10. 10 is plenty old enough to start learning how to blow shit up. Trust me.
Exactly. And learn safely at that.
Speaking from experience,
Yeah.
there, Mykel.
Maybe.
Maybe we're not going to
Tomato,
talk about
potato.
that. We will get demonetized.
Can't demonetize. What isn't making money already?
Oh.
And you said the nipple that's way, way up there? That's the band
No,
hammer.
no,
It's getting closer.
So yes,
Oh, shit.
NT and Rodney and the chief engineer are now giving a demolitions 101 lesson in the tinkering shop. I cannot believe this. Margaret, what do you have to say about this?
I'm not even gonna attempt to stop it.
Lord man.
Don't
There's no
interfere.
stopping hell.
This is. I look
I
at this
will
the way,
have an army of artillery.
I look at
I
this
don't
the
care
same
how
way
many
with the
2-year-olds I have
firecrackers.
to train.
If they hold it too long, they're gonna lose fingers, and they won't hold it too long again, because that's quite an important life lesson now, ain't it?
Exactly. See? If you're good, you don't lose anything. If you're not good, you lose shit till you learn to be good. It's a win-win.
It's an all-around win situation.
Once you pull the pin, Mr. Grenade is not your friend.
No.
You either do it right or it's not your problem anymore.
Exactly.
Red on black, friend of Jack. If it go kaboom, get it out the room.
Jesus.
So Kylie is coming out, and she is listening to Inti and Rodney talking about. So what you do is you put about this much gunpowder and a couple of ball bearings and some nails. You just kind of screw that in. And she's
Throw in a
hearing
little
this.
bit of salt just for flavor.
Jesus Christ.
Just a pinch.
Just for flavor.
And he is legitimately just grabbing a pinch of salt and just sprinkling it like the seasoned
Don't forget
guy
your
on
garlic and
Oh,
onions.
Salt Bay.
Throw in a little
Yeah.
bit of celery spice on the side too. Have your trinity when you kill people.
And Kylie comes up to you, Ket, and she's saying, "What are they doing to my boy?"
Don't ask questions you don't want answers to, Ma.
I'm just gonna like lean up against. I'm assuming I would be like standing next to a door, watching them or something, and I would just kind of lean up against the wall and look at her, kind of with a grin on my face, and say, "Well, they gotta learn somewhere."
Okay, Kat, I just realized there's a conundrum here. Kylie's the mom, but Inti's the dad of these 3 kids. Food for thought.
Oh no.
Big oof.
The love triangle.
Anyway, Marty, you end up grabbing another polished weapon when you see Inti doing the Salt Bay thing, putting salt in a pipe bomb. With
Nope, don't like that.
with 3 children watching intently and taking notes.
Nope,
This ends
don't
your
like
person
that.
problem and your bug problem. It's a 2-in-1.
What are you doing, Marty?
Staying away from that.
Not gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Wouldn't touch that with a 20-foot pole.
Are you going to tell Dad on Inti? Tell on Inti to Dad, I should say.
He's not going to be surprised at this point. He had 2 grown adults fighting over who got to hold a 44 Magnum. I was standing on his workbench about to pistol whip my brother over a 44 Magnum.
Not to mention, it's not like Dad can do much. So.
That is true. I'm just gonna,
And
he's
to
gonna kind of
hold up
lean
the
over
kid,
and be like,
I'm teaching them bombs. I'm teaching them bombs. Nanny, nanny, nanny.
I'm gonna lean over to Dad and be like, if you value your sanity, don't look over there. Go back to what I was doing.
What do you mean?
Yep, don't do it.
Oh, for the love of the God.
Don't ask
Inti.
questions you don't want answers to,
I
Dad.
told you. I told you.
But someone else does catch his eye, though, and he looks at her for a moment, then looks to you, Marty. Give me a moment. You just keep on keeping on here. And he walks outside and approaches Kylie. Ket. you do when NT Senior approaches Kylie?
I'm gonna kind of take a deep breath and wonder how this is gonna go down. In my head, out of character completely, I'm going, "Hey, sorry I ate your ear."
Yeah, NT's dad just ends up going up to her and he greets her and she greets him. And it's at that point that NT's father ends up reaching into his belt, behind him, and he pulls out a rather nice looking revolver, um, quite polished. It seems to be just a normal run of the mill revolver. It's just, NT's dad can turn a normal looking gun into something that looks quite valuable. He presents it to her, and Kylie, she ends up, taking the revolver, opens up the action, looks at it. Oh, this is quite nice. And she goes to hand it back to NT Senior when he pushes it back towards her and says, "Keep it as a gift."
You fed me with your flesh. Let me give you my iron.
What?
Fuck. None of what was just said is okay. None of it.
None of it. Oh my
The
god.
wine is my blood, the crackers my flesh. Feast upon me and be saved.
You fired. You're absolutely fucking fired.
You are 110% fucking fired.
Oh, dear
Ted,
God.
what do you do?
You can't fire me, I quit.
I fired you.
I'm just gonna say, wow, that is a really nice gun.
It's the least I
do
can
do I do I still have her revolver?
You do.
Oh Jesus, yeah. I just thought. Actually, I thought about it earlier, but I never found a break in the conversation, and then I forgot. But I just remembered again. And I guess in character that'll make sense because seeing that revolver, I will kind of curse under my breath and go, "Oh yeah, I almost forgot. This is yours as well, I believe." And pull out the revolver I found under her pillow and give it back to her.
Excuse me. Kylie just has you keep the revolver. She tells you that you need it more than she does. And she just kind of waves the one that she just got nonchalantly. "I can use this one for self-defense."
Ooh, she said you more of a bitch than her.
She went in. You need that more than me. Yo.
Bitch, healers are for chumps and scrubs. You need a healer.
Coming from the guy who used to say, "I don't want to be the healer."
But yeah, she just appears to be kind of playing with her brand new revolver. You can keep that revolver if you would like, Ket, or you can throw it off in the middle of the plains. I don't give a shit. But yeah.
Cool.
So let's see who else hasn't been able to get a word in. We'll go back to Rodney.
Yes.
Your lesson is starting to come to a close, and you and Inti are just bouncing off of each other, with the chief engineer laughing in the background. What else are you doing as far as training these kids with explosives, or is the lesson done for the day?
I mean, the lesson would be done for the day. I'm gonna entice them, be like, "Hey, boys, next day, who knows? We could go out and test a few, see how potent you guys can make something."
It's at this point that the chieftain comes up and says, "Well, looks like everyone's starting to get comfy here."
Hey, Chief. Just working on building myself an artillery squad.
I can see that. kind of reminds me of something called the Geneva Conventions from the old world. I'm pretty sure that that's a violation of them. But anyway,
Moving
Potato,
on.
potato.
moving on. Just got word from higher. We're not staying as long as we thought we were going to. We're packing up or we're going back to the silos, so pack all this shit up. We're leaving in an hour.
Roger that, boss.
He ends up going into the gun shop and tells you and NT Senior there, Marty. But hey, pack everything up. We're leaving in
Morty,
an hour.
pick up Morty. On the table, Morty. Morty, over here, Morty.
Yeah, he says pack everything up. We're going back to the silo. Do you have anything to say to that, Marty?
No.
All right. Well, I think that is where we're going to leave off for tonight's session. We'll pick up next week, probably at the silo. So, for those of you guys who are watching, thank you very, very much for listening to us banter here. We really appreciate it. Please leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell, all those good things. As of this video, we've been putting out a couple of more videos on the YouTube channel. So, yay, we're back to our upload schedule. But if you don't stick around with us for our after session review, we think you're watching. But if you are going to be sticking around, we're going to roll the dice of destiny to see who's going to go first. And again,
I actually have to get off here like super soon because I have to get up at 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay.
3 a.m.
Okay.
After session review, good session. Loved the role play. Missed it terribly. Everybody adds 19 gold, 10 silver, and 2 copper to their inventory sheets.
And also add an inspiration die to your character sheets as well. Every single one of you.
Yeah.
I have
Inspiration.
3 of these? What, I burned through them last session. What in the world?
I have like 5 of them.
I had to, well, you know what? You know my dice rolls. You know I had to burn at least 2.
Yeah.
Well, I have handed out my cookies. Yeah, we'll get together, you and I, Baker, later on. But if you get a bounce, go ahead and bounce. The first person who's going to be giving us their
Brandon, good. Austin, good. Thank you for letting me banter off of you. Rodney, good. Ket, good. Warren, bad. Always bad. Terrible. No, great job. Great
Terrible
job,
stuff. Really terrible.
No, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Thank you for allowing me to do this. All right, y'all have a good night.
Good night, homies.
Later.
So the first person again is going to be Brandon. So Brandon, what's your after session review? Brandon. Don't tell me he passed out for the after session review. He was almost there.
He sounded pretty tired.
I'm gonna throw
To be fair, he sounded very tired there towards the end.
I'm gonna throw a wrench at him the next time I see him. I'm gonna chunk one, fastball it as far as I can. Next person, because Brandon is a bitch, is gonna be Mike.
Yeah, it was fun. I always get into our role playing. Really glad to get Kylie back. Glad she wasn't hurt worse. But yeah, I think it went good. I really liked it. Cons on roleplay heavy, as much as I love it, roleplay heavy sessions, my con will always be I want to kill shit.
Yeah. You've been playing too much.
But other than that, yeah. Other than that, it was fun. It was great. You did an awesome job. Everybody did. I had fun.
Alrighty, cool. And I can hear Brandon snoring. I'm trying to.
Yeah, I was just about to say. So say we have the answer to our question. There's the answer.
God damn.
Fucking A, Brandon. God damn it! This is the reason why we can't have nice things. I'm trying to.
No, reason we can't have nice things is Rodney. Rodney's the reason we can't have nice things.
That's a fair point. Speaking of Rodney, go ahead and give me your actor session review. Or just
Pros. I got to play with you, motherfuckers. No, yeah, the role playing was actually really fun. The character dynamics that are building between characters is fun. These new little kids are going to be a nice little addition, and I'm going to try to get them involved in as much as we can. At least while we're in town. Cons. I didn't really think of any cons. Other than everyone being like roleplay shy tonight.
Yeah.
No one wanted to jump. No one wanted to jump the gun on a conversation.
Are you
So,
back in the
well,
realm of living, Brandon?
Hmm?
No, he's not. He just rolled over. Huh?
He said, huh?
Says, huh?
Hey, we're doing an after session review. There's Snorri McSnorson.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
I
I'm
know.
struggling, but I'm trying.
We're almost there, homie. We're almost there.
Okay.
At least he woke back up this time.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
So finish up with Rodney, and we'll go back to Brandon. So Brandon can.
Oh,
fuck off.
that's all I was gonna say. The only con I had was people being a little gun shy with the
With the
role play.
Yeah. And I will have something to say about that whenever it's my time. But we're gonna go ahead and pass it on to Brandon, so Brandon can go fuck off and go to sleep.
I appreciate it.
What is your after
My
session
my
review?
eyebrows feel like them children done been tied to them.
Yeah.
Just hanging.
So your after session review there, bud.
I really did. I like this session. There was some cleanup with the last bit and some role play with a storyline to do with Brandon and all that continuing. Added in a new reason for NT to hate him with child labor laws and crap that he's bringing in, hence the 10-year-olds. But that NT's now kind of split his focus between, okay, this guy, we have to murder him in the most cruel way possible and then dance a jig on his corpse. But these kids need a great education, and they deserve all the happiness and steaks and pizza rolls they can get. Because they're good noodles, kind of a thing.
Too bad it kind of sounds a little quiet.
Got the gist of it. Children good must stay.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was laying on my mic. Kill everyone, but the kids are good noodles.
Yes, kids are
Yes.
good children. Too bad we are turning them into child.
Noodle.
Too bad we're turning them into fucking child soldiers now. But anyway.
Hey, just because they know how to be child soldiers doesn't mean they're being utilized as child soldiers. It's self-defense unless proven otherwise by a court of their peers.
Oh, I'd hate to. Okay, never mind.
I mean, if you kill everybody, there is no court of peers.
Got
close
dark
enough.
Really quick.
Just get a few 12-year-old dogs. They'll be close enough.
So, any cons, Brandon?
Off the top of my head, no. Honestly, not really. I thought it was a pretty good session. I thought we were going to get a little bit further and thought I'd be a little bit more awake here by the end. But that's not. I didn't really have any cons for this session, for real, for real.
Yeah. It's all right though. Everything kind of seemed to be tracking on how I was wanting to go, so I think it was okay.
Yeah, I still think it was a really good session.
Yeah. Okay.
Did a lot more storytelling than anything else.
Yeah. So with that, Brandon, you can fuck off and go to sleep if you would like.
I appreciate you. Y'all have fun. Good night.
See you, hon.
Stay cool, but don't freeze, my ninjas.
Yeah.
I really thought that was going to go a different way.
I know. Night,
As
y'all.
long as you're aware.
Hey, homie. So last but not least, Austin.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was very, very story driven this time around. I half expected somebody to start a fight, honestly. Generally, how it goes. But overall, I think there was a lot of story development with Brandon and Baker's characters for sure. So that was pretty nice.
Yeah, there was a lot of character development in this one. We got to
Yeah,
see the softer side of Ket. We got to see Rodney. You see the caring side of Rodney whenever it came to like the chief engineer, and also with how he's caring about the kids and teaching the kids stuff. NT, a whole bunch of character development from NT. NT went from a guy just trying to contribute to his tribe to he wants blood. Marty is now being like, I could see a little bit of dynamic playing between the brothers on Marty trying to be smart about this, being like, hey man, he's just trying to get a rouse out of you. He can't be doing anything rash. And NT is it's the whole dynamic between elves and humans that typically happens. It's been switched, which is interesting to see. I like that.
I can agree with that.
Morgrim, he was more or less relaxed. I think Morgan's just been run through the ringer, and he's really just wanting to take a fucking chill pill.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely agree with that. I mean, he's definitely pretty exhausted at this point, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think that as it stands right now, I think Morgrim just kind of wants a little bit of peace.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, other than that, it just seems like at this point it's more of a I really don't want to have to do much, don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of sit back, hang back, and not try to piss too many people off. You know, in the interest of self-preservation.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that that's because Morgrim is beginning to see the bigger picture more than everyone else. It's just he can't necessarily put it to words.
Yeah, he hasn't quite pieced things together just yet, but I think he's getting there.
Yeah, he's the closest one of everyone in the party to actually, he's the closest one to actually piece it all together. It's just, and from what I see, he can't necessarily put it into words on what's going on exactly.
Not just yet, no.
Which you are definitely role playing that very well, and I like that. Very good job.
Appreciate it.
So what is going through Morgan's mind about the situation at hand, though?
I mean, so he's pretty happy that we have this leg up as far as like knowing what the intention is.
Mm-hmm.
As far as troop movements go, he likes having that extra little bit of knowledge. He doesn't like going into things, unprepared or anything like that. So having that is kind of invaluable in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
As far as really much else, I mean, he's a little bit concerned because he doesn't think that there are certain parties that kind of understand what kind of situation they're in. So I think he's a little bit frustrated. It's one thing to see it on the map, but it's entirely different to have to deal with it. You know what I mean?
To be in that firefight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where he's kind of pissed, having been sent into a place where there were umpteen enemies to deal with, and it didn't seem like anybody either A, cared, or B, really even understood the gravity of the situation.
Mm-hmm. So I think I'll ask that question of everyone. Ket. So Mike, what is going on in Ket's mind about this entire situation?
I'd say like 80% relief that I got my Kylie back.
Mm-hmm.
But 20% is anger. It's a very, very fiery, deep-seated anger, but it's there. And now that I know Kylie's okay, I'm ready to fucking get back out there and get at these guys.
So Ket's not necessarily looking at the bigger picture.
Not right now.
Mhm.
Not to say that that's not something that he considers, but as of this moment, these next couple of days, it's mostly just going to be that what I said.
Mhm. So kind of on the same boat as NT, not necessarily focus on the bigger picture, just wanting blood for what happened, kind of thing.
Basically,
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Rodney? What, Josh? What's going on in Rodney's mind?
Um, Rodney's really just looking to kind of get to know the chief engineer better, but more or less having him involved in all of the stuff makes it more of a reality that what's going on is need to be taken seriously.
What about the situations that tribe has kind of found itself in?
I don't really know where Rodney's going with that. I don't know how he wants to approach it, other than you know really wants to maybe be more tactical with it,
Mm-hmm.
as far as like moving forward. Like he wants to make sure he can protect the tribe as best as he can, as well as be like an offensive asset for the tribe once we get to that point.
So Rodney's trying to get the lay of the land to see what needs to happen for defense, so he can hurry up and go on the offensive.
Basically, yeah, he wants to. That's kind of what he was doing with the pressure plates. He's gonna find ways of setting up defenses so when vehicles come rolling in, they get like more or less. He's gonna start moving towards like setting up traps.
Mm-hmm.
Like everywhere we go, he's gonna go out and set traps and
Okay.
then come back and then go out and set traps and come back until we can get to a point where we can mount an offense.
Okay. All right. Well, my whole after session with you, I do agree with Josh on the whole role play shy thing. It's been a bit since we've had like a true legit nothing but role play session. Um, and that's just mostly because of me just driving that story forward into these different combats and what have you. I need to pump the brakes a little bit and give you guys time enough to, get comfortable with role playing again. Because I was kind of getting the vibe that you guys were legitimately waiting for the next fight. Like, okay, who are we fighting next? We're in the middle of a war here. Do you not know we're at a war? Kind of thing. Um, so it has been quite a bit since we've had a roleplay only session, and that's why I'm so understanding of everyone being a little bit roleplay hesitant. Um, but that is something that we need to kind of work on. As far as the story is concerned, you guys are engaging in it more than I thought you guys would, which is, excuse me, amazing. You guys are constantly thinking of, okay, what's the next thing that we have to do? Josh is coming up. Okay, let's set some mines up so we can, at least destroy some of their vehicles and whittle them down. Inty's, beginning to craft weapons. Marty is, he's working on weapons and shit. You guys are getting both yourselves and your characters in the mindset of preparation. Waiting for the next fight and taking that next fight on, which is awesome. Um, so yeah, I'm really happy with how everything was going. Only con I have is just a little bit of roleplay hesitancy, but we had a little bit of banter going on between characters, which is stuff that I love to see. Um, really interested on where Baker is taking Marty as far as his whole, possibly finding religion thing. Really looking forward to seeing how that comes to fruition. And yeah, um, all in all, a pretty good session. Happy with it.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how Marty, decides to move forward.
Mm-hmm. yeah, his character got some info that he was like too big for small brain, and just kind of walked away from it. But yeah, I'm thinking that's pretty good for our little after session review. Anybody have any additions to it?
No, I think plenty was said, and I think plenty good was said.
Alrighty then. Well, if you guys have stuck, along with our after session banter here, we appreciate it. And again, leave a like, drop a comment, hit the little bell, share this video to all of your friends and shit. Who are
Do
into
the dang
gaming.
thing.
Yeah, do the good things good. And yeah, I guess we'll see you guys next time on Broken Earth.
On broken earth.
Yeah.